What if the life you're living isn't the reality you think it is? Have you ever felt a nagging sense that something is deeply amiss, that you're playing a role in a story that isn't truly yours? This isn't just a fleeting feeling, but a signal, a call to something much bigger, and it's intimately linked to a mass awakening event that is now underway. This isn't a doomsday prophecy, but an invitation to a profound transformation of consciousness. And this isn't something that's happening to you, it's happening through you. Throughout history, we've seen this pattern of transformation repeat, times when the very fabric of society shifts and old ways of thinking fall away, like the Renaissance, where art and science bloomed after a long dark age, or the Enlightenment, which challenged the old dogmas with reason and observation. These weren't random events, but rather key shifts in our collective perception of reality, and the same thing is happening now. If you're feeling this call, if you feel an inner pull towards a different kind of truth, then you might be one of the chosen ones, not in the sense of being elite or special, but in the sense of being called to a higher responsibility, an invitation to embody a greater awareness. This is not a passive experience, but a conscious decision to step into a new understanding of reality. This awakening event isn't just a personal journey, but a pivotal moment for all of humanity, a chance to reshape our understanding of what it means to exist. It's a shift of immense scale, like a wave that ripples across the entire ocean, transforming the surface and reaching the deepest trenches. This isn't just a tweak to our current perspective, it's the birth of a new reality, one where the limitations we've imposed on ourselves begin to dissolve. The knowledge contained within this video is something that is not widely known, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. This is your invitation to step beyond the veil and discover the deeper truths that are waiting to be revealed. This is not about waiting for some external force to save you, but a powerful call to become the active co-creator of your experience, and this power lives within you. This transformation begins with the individual, and the results ripple out to the rest of humanity, like a single spark that starts a forest fire. If you've ever felt a deep resonance with spiritual or esoteric knowledge, if you found yourself questioning the nature of reality itself, it's because you're not just a passive bystander in this process. You are here because something deep within you has called you, drawn you to this specific message, because you have an important role to play. Your consciousness isn't just a random byproduct of biology, it's a powerful force that shapes the very reality you inhabit. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are not just abstract internal experiences. They are the very building blocks of the world around you and everything you experience. But this power has been hidden from you by systems that do not want you to see your true potential. This awakening involves recognizing and releasing the limiting beliefs that have been programmed into you, revealing that the life you are currently living is nothing more than a collection of stories that have been handed down to you. The world you see around you is not just an external reality, but a mirror reflecting your own internal state, showing you how you truly see yourself. And if you want to change your reality, you must change yourself first, starting with those deep-seated beliefs. What if this reality is a construct, not a concrete set of rules, but a fluid and malleable experience shaped by our collective consciousness? What if the forces at play are hidden from our perception, but working diligently to keep you unaware of the greater truth of your own power? Have you ever had those moments of déjà vu, where the world seems to glitch, where events synchronize in a way that defies explanation? Those aren't random occurrences, but cracks in the system, glimpses behind the veil, and signals that the awakening is already underway. The information contained within this video is going to show you how to not only navigate this great shift, but to reclaim your own power and become the co-creator you were always meant to be. So you're beginning to see that this awakening isn't a distant event, something that happens out there, but an intimate and personal transformation, a shift occurring within you, and therefore rippling outwards into the world around you. The news clips and social trends that have been causing you unease, the feeling that something is off, aren't random glitches in reality. They're actually reflections of this internal shift, showing you the cracks in a system that has long held us captive. This is a fundamental reframe of the idea of a mass awakening. It's not something that's going to happen to us, but an evolutionary leap that's unfolding through us as we awaken to our true nature. If you've been feeling a growing sense of unease or a pull towards something deeper, then that's the awakening happening within you right now. It's not a chaotic event. It's a deeply meaningful and beautiful transformation, and you are at the heart of it. This shift is personal, and it's happening at the level of individual consciousness, but it's not isolated because each of our awakenings influences the collective whole. Imagine a single drop of water falling into a still pond, creating a ripple that expands outwards, touching every part of the surface. That's how this awakening works. One person awakens, and it creates a ripple effect, expanding outward, influencing the consciousness of those around them, creating a cascading wave of change. This is how the transformation is happening. It's not just a few people who are called to awaken, but a wave of consciousness that is growing as more individuals start to see the truth of reality. Each new awakening adds more power and momentum to this wave, and with each new person that wakes up, it transforms the collective consciousness. This is how we move into a higher state of being, not by waiting for some external force to change things, but by each of us taking responsibility for our own internal transformation, seeing ourselves as active agents of change, not passive recipients of experience. The very fact that you are watching this video, sharing it, and connecting with this information is directly contributing to the strength of this wave. You are not just observing this shift, but actively participating in it. This isn't a singular event, it's a collective process. Throughout history, this pattern of awakening has repeated itself. The Renaissance wasn't just about art and science, it was about humanity reawakening to the potential of human expression. The Enlightenment wasn't just about reason and observation. It was about recognizing the power of individual thought. The same pattern can be observed in countless other cultural and societal shifts throughout history. Each time, there has been a collective movement towards a greater understanding of reality, a challenge to old beliefs, and an expansion of human consciousness. These are not isolated events, but a series of connected transformations, showing a repeating theme of humanity's evolution. These past awakenings aren't just historical curiosities. They're part of a recurring pattern, cycles in consciousness itself, demonstrating that this isn't a random event, but part of a larger, beautiful process, something that you are now a part of. The idea of a mass awakening can feel overwhelming, but when viewed through the lens of these repeating historical patterns, you can see that there is a deeper order at play. It is not random or chaotic, but rather a wave that has been building momentum for millennia. And if you've made it to this point in the video, if you feel a resonance with this information, then you are among the chosen ones. However, it must be clear that this isn't some kind of special designation or elite status. Being chosen doesn't mean you are better than anyone else or that you have been given a golden ticket. It simply means you are one of those who feels an internal call to awaken, a deep sense of alignment with this message, and you are taking responsibility for your own awakening. You've likely experienced an unexplained pull towards spiritual or esoteric teachings, had moments where you felt like an outsider or questioned the nature of reality and how it operates. Maybe you've noticed more synchronicities, those strange coincidences that defy explanation, perhaps even a profound sense that you're not alone on this journey. These are all signs that you are ready, that you are resonating with the frequency of this awakening, and that you have a part to play in this magnificent transformation of humanity. You don't need an external authority to tell you you're chosen. If you are here, at this point in the video, it's because you've already been called. But what is the next step now that you are aware? Now that you understand that you are here, you are called, and you are a part of this mass awakening. The first step in this process, as a chosen one, is to actively participate in your own transformation by going inward. This isn't about performing grand, external actions, but about cultivating inner awareness and transforming limiting beliefs. Methods like meditation and mindfulness are tools to help you quiet the external noise and connect to your inner self. These aren't complicated or difficult practices to learn. Even just a few minutes a day of focused attention can have a profound impact on your state of being and your ability to access the deeper levels of awareness. By taking control of your internal world, you begin to take control of the world around you. Start with a simple breathing technique. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and exhale slowly. Focus on the sensation of the breath entering and leaving your body. This simple act of conscious breathing brings you into the present moment, where true change becomes possible, where you begin to step out of the story you've been told and into the truth of who you really are. This isn't just about sitting still. It's about actively choosing to shape your inner world. This act of going inward is necessary because our limiting beliefs are often subconscious, and they operate from a place of hidden programming. Our minds are filled with narratives that have been handed down to us, and these stories often keep us trapped in cycles of fear, limitation, and self-doubt. These are the seeds that create the external world that you experience and the reality that you perceive. By understanding how these stories are affecting your life, you begin to break free. For example, you may believe that you are not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable enough of achieving your dreams, and these beliefs are like an invisible force that holds you back from your true potential. These beliefs are not your truth, but the result of external programming and societal conditioning. Consider the belief that you need to work hard to earn money, a story we've all heard countless times, but is it really true? Is it not possible to make money by doing something you love? This is not about ignoring hard work. It's about understanding the underlying assumptions that shape your approach to life and discovering the deeper truth of your own being. Every limiting belief that you hold is a seed that is being planted in your reality, creating the external experience you are having. Once you become aware of this programming, you can consciously start to change it. This is where you begin to awaken, becoming aware of the programming. You will realize that so many of your deeply held beliefs are not actually your own, and they have been given to you, and you accepted them as if they were your own. Now that you are beginning to awaken, it is time to become aware of the stories you tell yourself. Start by questioning everything. Ask yourself if what you believe is really true, or if it's simply a story you've been told. Start questioning the narrative that you have been given. What if the very structure of society itself is designed to keep you in a state of unconsciousness? What if the news, the media, and even the educational system are designed to reinforce your limitations? What if everything you believe to be true is simply a program that has been downloaded into your mind? This is the moment that you begin to take back your power, and you begin to see your life through the lens of your own experience. This is a conscious choice to take responsibility for your life and your beliefs. You have the power to rewrite these programs, but first you must choose to become aware of them. This is the first step to becoming free. And as you begin to question everything, you'll start to realize that reality is not as fixed as it seems, that it is actually quite malleable, and that you have the power to shape it. The way that you perceive the world directly affects the way that you experience it, and when you shift your perspective, you shift your entire reality. A fixed mindset will keep you trapped, whereas a growth mindset will free you. For instance, instead of thinking, "I can't do this," you can choose to think, "I can't do this yet." It's a subtle shift in language, but it has a dramatic effect on your internal state. This is because this simple shift in perspective takes you from a place of limitation to a place of possibility. And when your internal world begins to change, you begin to see the external world through an entirely new lens. This is not about ignoring the difficulties in life. It's about reframing your approach, choosing to see challenges as opportunities for growth, and adopting an understanding that there is always a path forward. You are never trapped. You are only experiencing what you believe is true. As you start to embrace this growth mindset, you'll begin to see that there are infinite possibilities in every situation, and that you have the power to choose how you respond, changing the very fabric of your existence. But it is not enough to simply have a new understanding, but to see how this new understanding affects the external world. This is where the deeper nature of reality comes into play, a reality that is governed by the laws of consciousness. And when you begin to understand how that mechanism works, you realize that you are not merely a passive bystander, but an active participant in the creation of reality. So, you're beginning to grasp that reality isn't fixed, that it's actually a fluid and ever-changing landscape, shaped by your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. But how do you actively harness this understanding to consciously create the reality you desire? This isn't just about passively hopping for the best. It's about actively engaging in the process of intentional creation, refining your ability to focus, to feel, and to believe. Think of it like learning to play a musical instrument. At first, it seems awkward and clumsy, but with practice and dedication, you begin to create beautiful melodies. Similarly, manifestation is a skill that can be honed. It's not a magic trick, but a deep understanding of the fundamental laws of consciousness, and it requires a refinement of your focus, emotions, and beliefs, all of which are intimately connected. The key is that your body and your emotions are the mechanism of this manifestation, the bridge between the world of thought and the world of experience. Your feelings act as a compass, telling you if you are aligned with your desired outcome or if you are creating resistance. The emotions that you experience are directly related to your beliefs, creating your state of being, and therefore your manifested experiences. Most of us are actually manifesting all the time, but we are doing it unconsciously, which is why we get unwanted results. You might unconsciously hold a belief about not being worthy, which then manifests as a lack of opportunities or challenging relationships. Or you might unconsciously fear failure, which creates a self-fulfilling prophecy of missed opportunities. The key is to take control of the process and become a conscious co-creator of your own reality. Now imagine a specific scenario, a goal you deeply desire, and allow yourself to feel the emotions of having already achieved it. Use your senses, feel the textures, hear the sounds, smell the aromas, and allow the joy, the gratitude, and the satisfaction to flood your body as if it has already happened. This feeling is the key, not just a visualization, but the feeling of the experience as if it is already done. The more real you can make this feeling, the more powerfully you will draw it into your experience. The feeling is the mechanism that magnetizes you to your desired reality. But what happens when that magnetic pull is sabotaged by fear, doubt, and negative emotional patterns? The missing key for most people in the process of manifestation is the emotional component, the understanding that feelings amplify intentions and create a powerful magnetic pull. If you're trying to manifest abundance but feeling a deep sense of lack, the feeling of lack will be the stronger magnet, attracting more lack. Fear and doubt, while often perceived as negative emotions, are actually extremely powerful forces, and if you use them as a guide, you can quickly begin to see what beliefs are holding you back. These emotions tell you where your subconscious programming is out of alignment, and this allows you to begin the process of transformation, which is why they are actually valuable. For instance, if you feel fear about public speaking, that fear is not there to stop you from speaking, but to point you to an underlying limiting belief that you are afraid of judgment. You can then start to address that belief by realizing that judgment is often a projection of their own self-criticism. Use your feelings as a tool to direct you, as your compass, and you'll discover they will show you the path to where you need to grow. This is a continuous process, because as you grow, your programming will shift, and you will constantly need to check back with your feelings to ensure you are actively creating the reality that you want. However, the path of manifestation isn't always smooth and easy. You will likely encounter obstacles along the way, doubt will creep in, limiting beliefs might resurface, and impatience may tempt you to give up. The key is not to see these setbacks as failures, but as learning opportunities, as feedback from the system that helps you to refine your approach. If you do not get what you want immediately, maybe there is a more beneficial outcome just around the corner. Perhaps you will receive something even greater than what you initially envisioned, or that what you asked for was not actually aligned with your highest good. The ability to reframe setbacks as stepping stones to success will accelerate your progress along this path and develop your spiritual maturity. Let's say you are trying to manifest a new job and get rejected from a role. Instead of seeing this as a personal failure, reframe this as a redirection toward an even better opportunity, or that this rejection might actually protect you from a toxic workplace. This understanding helps you to stay positive, maintain your belief, and trust in the process, knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly. And it's so very important that this isn't some kind of separate activity that you do in your spare time. It's a way of living. Manifestation is integrated into every aspect of your day, every choice you make, and every thought you think. Every action, every word, and every intention is a brushstroke in the canvas of your reality, and you are constantly creating, whether you are aware of it or not. Before you start work, set the intention to have a productive and fulfilling day. During your breaks, take a moment to visualize your goals as already achieved. Before you go to sleep, express gratitude for all the good things in your life. These simple practices, integrated throughout your day, transform it into a conscious act of creation. This is where you step into the role of the conscious co-creator, understanding that your life is not happening to you, but it is happening through you. You are not a passive recipient of reality, but the active architect of your experience. This understanding shifts the very foundation of how you interact with the world, moving from a passive observer to an active participant in the game of life. Now, as you begin to understand this, you might think that the simulation is a simple construct that you can simply manipulate to your will. But what if there are other forces at play within this game, forces that may be working towards different goals? Let's take the idea of the game a little further. You are not just a player in this game, but there are other players. Some are benevolent, some are malevolent, and they are all playing their part in this unfolding drama of consciousness. This realization adds another layer of complexity to the simulation model, but also gives you a broader understanding of what you're facing, so you are not going into this journey blindly. The simulation isn't simply a passive system. There are forces within it that actively influence your experiences and challenge your free will. And as you wake up, you must become aware of them. This is where things get more nuanced, because this isn't a simple matter of good and evil, but a spectrum of forces with different agendas that are impacting us every day. Understanding these forces is crucial to navigating the complexities of the simulation and maintaining your sovereignty. So, who are these forces, and what roles do they play? On the side of love and light, you have benevolent forces, spiritual guides, higher dimensional beings, and your own higher self, all working together to support your awakening process. These forces work through love, compassion, and support. They don't interfere with your free will, but rather provide guidance and nudges along your path, offering support when you need it most. They speak through your intuition, send synchronicities your way, and gently encourage you to grow and evolve. They don't command or control, but offer love and guidance, working for the betterment of all. Perhaps you've experienced a moment of profound intuition that guided you toward a better path, a dream that offered a key insight, or a synchronicity that seemed too perfect to be a coincidence. And these experiences are often signs of support from your benevolent guides. You are not alone in this journey, and there are unseen forces supporting you at every step. But the other side of that coin is that there are also forces that wish to keep you asleep. On the other side of the spectrum, there are malevolent forces, lower entities, negative thought forms, and unseen manipulators that work to suppress consciousness, perpetuating cycles of fear, control, and manipulation. These forces don't operate through love or compassion, but through fear, creating narratives of scarcity, division, and suffering. They often work through deception, disguising themselves as benevolent guides to manipulate and control, to keep you in a state of unconsciousness. These forces seek to keep you trapped in patterns of negativity, feeding off your energy and preventing you from realizing your true potential. They are the puppet masters behind many of the world's conflicts, instigators of fear and creators of limiting beliefs, and they've been working tirelessly to keep humanity in a state of disempowerment for centuries. This is why so many systems of control are put into place, creating a feedback loop that is very difficult to escape. From the media to the education system, the very structure of society is working to perpetuate this unconsciousness, feeding these negative thought forms. Navigating this complex duality requires discernment, critical thinking, and spiritual intelligence. It's not always easy to distinguish between benevolent guidance and manipulative deception. Sometimes, the lower forces disguise themselves as higher guides, using charming words and subtle manipulation to lure you into their web. The key is to develop your intuition and learn to trust your inner guidance. Pay attention to how you feel when interacting with these forces. Do you feel empowered, inspired, and uplifted? Or do you feel drained, anxious, or manipulated? Your feelings are your most accurate compass, and your body will always tell you the truth, so it is essential to begin to listen. Learn to recognize patterns of manipulation, challenge limiting beliefs, and stay grounded in your center, remembering that you are a powerful being who has the ability to see through the deception and break free. You are not a puppet. You are the puppeteer, and you always have the choice. This deeper level of awareness and discernment will help you to navigate this complex game and maintain your sovereignty. And when we talk about the game, what if we reframe the paranormal phenomena as simply another layer of the simulation, a doorway to other realities and energies that are always present but not always visible? What if the so-called supernatural is actually a natural part of our interconnected reality? Psychic phenomena, out-of-body experiences, and even the seemingly bizarre occurrences of poltergeists are all simply interactions with other dimensions or energetic frequencies, and not a violation of the natural order. This reframe moves us away from the idea of the supernatural to the idea of the multidimensional, showing that these experiences are natural and not simply a product of fantasy. Think of reality not just as a single solid plane, but as a layered cake with multiple dimensions and energetic frequencies existing simultaneously. Normally, we only experience one layer, but when we begin to awaken, we start to see the other layers that exist all around us. For example, psychic phenomena such as telepathy, clairvoyance, and precognition are simply a natural result of the interconnected nature of consciousness, an indication that we are all connected by an invisible field. When we develop these abilities, it's not some kind of miracle, but simply the result of tapping into this shared field of consciousness. What if sharing a dream with a friend wasn't a coincidence, but the result of an invisible connection between your consciousness? What if seeing a glimpse of the future wasn't a supernatural event, but the result of your ability to perceive the quantum possibilities of the simulation? These abilities are not anomalies. They are natural expressions of a consciousness that is not bound by the limits of the physical world. As you awaken, you will find that you naturally begin to develop these abilities, and as you do, you start to interact more with the other layers of reality that have always been there. And then, there are the experiences of lucid dreaming, where you become aware that you are dreaming, and you can then consciously interact with the dream world. This is not just a fun experience. It's a powerful tool for exploring the nature of the simulation. When you become lucid in a dream, you start to experience the malleability of reality in a very direct way. You can fly through the air, walk through walls, or manifest anything you can imagine, proving that the nature of reality is much more fluid than you normally experience in your waking state. As you begin to master this skill, you will start to see how those same principles can be applied to your waking reality, showing you that the rules are much more malleable than you once believed. This experience in your dream state can empower you to take more responsibility for your waking life and show you that you can create your reality by making active choices, which will extend your sense of freedom and control. And even the poltergeist phenomenon, the strange occurrences of objects moving on their own or the appearance of unexplained noises, this isn't a spooky haunting, but a demonstration of the power of focused emotional energy, very similar to what was discussed earlier with the placebo and nocebo effects. Intense emotions, whether conscious or unconscious, can have a very real and tangible effect on the physical environment. If you are very angry, you might find yourself slamming a door without consciously choosing to do so. Or you might find that when you are having an intense emotional experience, strange things start to happen around you. These are not ghosts or spirits, but the result of your energy directly interacting with your environment. Just as thoughts and beliefs can manifest events, strong emotions can create physical disturbances. And as you begin to understand this connection between inner and outer reality, you will start to see that your feelings are actually the mechanism of creation. This is where you realize that there is so much more to our reality than you have been told. And as you begin to understand this deeper nature of reality, you'll notice that the synchronicities in your life will begin to increase. The strange coincidences that used to feel random now start to feel like signposts guiding you along your awakening path. These are not random events. They are purposeful signs from your higher self, telling you that you are on the right path and supporting you in your journey. The universe is responding to your shift in consciousness, and these synchronicities are showing you how the system is working and how you are now beginning to move with the flow of this great wave of transformation. These synchronicities might take different forms. A repeated number pattern, a song playing at the perfect moment, or a chance meeting with someone who has the information you need, all of them showing you the deeper order in the world, a constant dialogue that happens through reality itself. As you continue to awaken, you will naturally begin to feel an increased sense of sensitivity and empathy, a deeper awareness of the interconnectedness of all life. This isn't a weakness. It's a sign of your consciousness expanding, that you are becoming more receptive to the energy and emotions of others, as your ability to perceive other layers of the simulation begins to open up. You might find that you are more easily affected by the emotions of those around you, or that you can feel what others are thinking or feeling without them saying a word. This is a natural sign of your increased awareness and a greater level of connection to the collective consciousness, as your heart begins to open to the world in a completely new way. You are not alone in this experience. It is part of the process of awakening and a sign that you are becoming more attuned to the deeper nature of reality. Embrace this sensitivity and use it as a tool for understanding the interconnectedness of all beings. And finally, you are a part of a wave that is rapidly gaining momentum as more and more individuals awaken. This isn't just happening by chance. It is a collective process that each person is contributing to by simply choosing to be conscious and by choosing to share this information with others who may be ready for it. Every action you take, every thought you have, and every word you speak has a ripple effect that contributes to the rise of the collective consciousness. The very fact that you are watching this video and that you may choose to share it is a part of this process. You are not just observing the wave of awakening, you are actively contributing to its growth and momentum. You are adding your energy to the whole, you are adding your perspective, your insights, and your unique gifts to the great transformation of humanity. And so, you, the chosen one, the viewer who has come this far, has a critical role to play in this great awakening, understanding that your individual journey is part of a greater collective transformation. This is not just about your personal growth, but about your contribution to the evolution of consciousness, and you are a key piece of the puzzle. You have the power to shape reality, you have the ability to transform your limiting beliefs, and you have the capacity to create a world that is aligned with your highest aspirations, not just for yourself, but for all beings. Your individual choices and actions are contributing to the great shift, And as you embrace your role as an active co-creator, you become a powerful catalyst for the transformation of humanity. But what specific steps can you take right now to step fully into this role? So, you're ready to step into the role of the conscious co-creator, to move from simply experiencing life to actively shaping it. But how exactly do you do this? What are the concrete tools and techniques to make this a reality? It's not just about positive thinking or wishful hopping. It requires a deep understanding of the underlying mechanics of manifestation and a consistent commitment to inner work. Think of your personal energy field as a radio transmitter, constantly broadcasting a signal into the universe, and the frequency of that signal determines the kind of experiences you attract, so that you are effectively creating a feedback loop with reality. Everything you experience is a direct result of this frequency. This frequency isn't fixed. It's not a static state of being, but a dynamic and ever-changing energy that you can consciously influence. Your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs act as the dials on this radio. And as you turn those dials, you will change the signal that you are broadcasting into the world, making it essential to know how to take command of them. Consider the feeling of joy, a sensation of lightness, expansion, and a feeling of being connected to something larger than yourself. This state of joy vibrates at a high frequency, attracting experiences that are in alignment with that vibration, creating a beautiful feedback loop. You might notice that when you are feeling joyful, opportunities appear seemingly out of nowhere, synchronicities increase, and you feel a natural flow in your life. On the other hand, when you are feeling fear, anxiety, or anger, those emotions vibrate at a lower frequency, attracting experiences that are also in alignment with that vibration, creating another feedback loop. You might find that, when you are feeling these lower emotions, obstacles seem to appear more frequently, people become more difficult to deal with, and you experience a greater sense of struggle. The key is to start to recognize these patterns and consciously change the dial on the radio to shift from lower frequencies to higher ones and consciously cultivate feelings that create the reality you want. If you want to attract more love, practice more self-love. If you want more abundance, practice more gratitude. It's that simple and that profound. So, how do you consciously alter your personal frequency? How do you move from those lower emotional states into those higher ones? It's not about suppressing your emotions or pretending to feel something that you don't, but rather about consciously choosing to focus on feelings that uplift and empower you and shifting your perception to find those feelings. Start with gratitude. Take a few moments each day to reflect on the things you are grateful for in your life, even the smallest and seemingly insignificant things. Feel the appreciation in your heart and allow that feeling to grow and expand, creating a powerful positive energy field. Practice mindfulness, becoming aware of your thoughts and feelings without judgment, and choosing to focus on thoughts that are positive and empowering. Engage in activities that bring you joy, such as listening to music, spending time in nature, or engaging in creative expression, and allowing those experiences to become a source of positive energy. Another powerful technique is visualization, where you vividly imagine yourself in the reality that you desire, feeling the emotions of already having achieved it. As you practice these techniques, you will notice that your personal frequency begins to shift, and you start to attract more positive and empowering experiences into your life, creating an upward spiral of growth and abundance. It is a skill like a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it will become. This personal frequency, this constant energetic broadcast, directly impacts the external reality that you experience, attracting experiences and circumstances that are a vibrational match to your personal energy signature. If your dominant frequency is one of lack and scarcity, you will attract situations that mirror that feeling, showing you a world of limitation and struggle. If your dominant frequency is one of abundance and gratitude, you will attract experiences that reflect that reality, showing you a world of opportunities and endless possibilities. A person who constantly complains will attract more things to complain about, while a person who expresses gratitude will find more things to be grateful for, and the world will reflect back their inner state. It is always a mirror, showing you what you are broadcasting. This is not just about wishing for something, but about embodying the feeling of already having it. When you embody the feeling of joy, you magnetize experiences that are joyful. When you embody the feeling of abundance, you magnetize opportunities for abundance. Your energy is a powerful magnet that attracts what you are, not what you want. Therefore, the key is to be in alignment with what you desire, and your external reality will start to reflect that. And as you begin to take charge of your own personal frequency, it doesn't just attract what you want. It also acts as a shield against negativity, creating an energetic barrier that repels lower vibrations. Think of it like a magnetic field. When you are vibrating at a high frequency, negativity simply bounces off you because there is no vibrational match. If you have ever spent time with someone who is constantly complaining and you felt drained and exhausted afterwards, it is because you have allowed yourself to be drawn into their lower frequency. When you maintain your own high vibration, you become less susceptible to these types of energetic drains, and you are able to maintain your own emotional balance. You might find that as you raise your frequency, negative people will naturally begin to fall out of your life, and new connections, friendships, and relationships will arise that are more aligned with your higher vibration. This isn't about avoiding challenges, but about being able to navigate them from a place of strength, clarity, and inner peace. By actively managing your own personal frequency, you're not only creating a more joyful and abundant reality, you're also cultivating a powerful energetic shield that protects you from negativity and maintains a sense of inner stability. Now you might be thinking, this all sounds fantastic, but what about the negative thoughts, the unwanted feelings, the hidden parts of myself that I try to avoid? This is where we delve into the concept of the shadow self, the unconscious aspects of your personality that contain all of the repressed emotions, limiting beliefs, and the fears that you've been trying to bury. Your shadow self isn't an evil entity. It isn't something to be afraid of, but rather it is an integral part of your being, a collection of unacknowledged aspects that are influencing your life from the unconscious. Think of a tree with its visible branches and leaves, and its hidden root system underground. The shadow self is like the root system, the unseen foundation that supports the whole tree, and it is essential for your stability. You can't ignore the roots if you want the tree to grow strong, just as you cannot ignore the shadow if you want to grow into your fullest potential. When you try to suppress these shadows, you give them more power. They will act out in ways that are not aligned with your best interests, and you will continue to be controlled by unconscious patterns. When you embrace them, you integrate their power, and you use that to fuel your transformation. So, how do you recognize your shadow patterns, those unconscious aspects of yourself that you've been trying to avoid? It's not always easy to see, as these parts of ourselves are hidden from conscious awareness. One of the most powerful techniques is self-reflection. Take some time each day to sit in quiet contemplation, observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Ask yourself what triggers you, what makes you angry or frustrated, and what situations seem to consistently create negative emotional responses. These triggers can be clues to your shadow patterns. Perhaps, when someone criticizes you, you become defensive, which might be an indication of an underlying belief that you are not good enough. Or perhaps, you find yourself constantly jealous of others' success, which might indicate an underlying belief that you are not capable of achieving great things yourself. Journaling can also be an invaluable tool, writing down your thoughts and feelings and observing recurring patterns. When you start to become aware of these patterns, you can begin to understand their root causes, and you can start to consciously choose to change them. This is where true power emerges, and the control that those patterns used to have over you can be broken. Once you recognize your shadow patterns, it is essential to integrate these aspects into your awareness, rather than suppressing or denying them. This isn't about condoning negative behaviors, but about understanding the underlying emotions and beliefs that drive them. When you deny your shadow, you are denying a part of yourself, and that part will always try to be expressed. For instance, if you have a tendency to be overly critical of yourself, instead of trying to suppress that critical voice, try to understand the unmet need that drives it. Perhaps that inner critic is trying to protect you from feeling vulnerable, or perhaps that inner critic is simply a reflection of the criticism you received in your childhood. Instead of trying to fight that voice, begin to approach it with compassion and understanding. When you can embrace these parts of yourself, they start to lose their power to control you, and they become sources of strength. This is a key element to truly mastering your own energy and becoming a conscious co-creator. When you love and accept all parts of yourself, you unlock a greater sense of wholeness. And when you embrace your shadow, you'll discover that it's not just a collection of negative traits, but a powerful source of untapped power, creativity, and resilience, as long as you can use this energy consciously. Think of it as a dormant volcano, full of intense energy that has been repressed and contained. If that energy is unconscious, it will erupt in destructive ways, but when you consciously direct that energy, you can use it to move mountains. Many of the world's greatest artists, leaders, and innovators have tapped into their shadow aspects, transforming their pain and suffering into sources of inspiration and achievement. When you can look at your greatest challenges as a source of strength instead of a source of suffering, you begin to see the transformative power of your shadow. Perhaps your greatest fear is also connected to your greatest strength, and by embracing that fear, you can unlock the very thing that you most desire. The key is to bring the shadow into the light of consciousness, not to hide from it, but to embrace it. And as you begin to do this, you start to move into greater levels of wholeness and access new dimensions of power. This is what it truly means to integrate the shadow. Now, as you integrate the shadow, you will also need to develop an understanding of the connection between the heart and the mind, because neither one of them can create on its own, but the two in alignment are the most powerful tool you have for manifestation. The mind is the logical, analytical center, where you plan, strategize, and make decisions. And while this is essential for navigating the world, it is not the center of your creative potential. The heart, on the other hand, is your intuitive center, where you access wisdom, compassion, and the deepest desires of your soul. And when you connect to the heart, you gain access to the infinite. Think of the heart as a compass, pointing you toward your authentic path, while the mind is the vehicle that helps you get there. If you only rely on the mind, you are just following the maps of others. And if you only rely on the heart, you might not find the road at all. The key is to find the balance between the two, to let the heart guide you, and the mind find the way. So, how do you balance logic and intuition? How do you reconcile the often conflicting voices of the heart and the mind? It requires a conscious effort to tune into both sources of wisdom, to give them equal weight in your decision-making, and to become more sensitive to the subtle nudges of your intuition. When faced with a challenging decision, start by gathering all the logical facts, all of the data, but instead of making a decision from logic alone, tune into your heart and ask yourself, what feels right? Does this path resonate with my true values, or does it feel like I am going against my inner wisdom? The heart communicates through feelings. It might be a sense of peace, joy, excitement, or a feeling of unease, resistance, or even dread. These feelings are an essential part of the decision-making process, not to be ignored, but to be integrated into your logical assessment. And as you learn to trust your intuition, you will find that it guides you with clarity and precision, leading you toward the path that is most aligned with your highest good. This is where you begin to move into a space of true coherence, a harmonious dance between the heart and the mind. And, as you learn to listen to your heart, you'll discover that it's more than just a source of intuition, but a powerful center of manifestation. This is where the real power of creation lies, in the ability to connect to the energy of the heart and to align that energy with your intentions. The heart generates a powerful electromagnetic field, which extends beyond the physical body, acting like a powerful magnet that draws experiences into your life. When your intentions are aligned with the energy of your heart, they become infused with a deep sense of passion, purpose, and power. Think of the difference between wanting something with your mind versus feeling it in your heart. The mind can make a list of desires, but the heart carries the passion, and when these are combined, they have an exponential effect. When you visualize your goals, feel the emotions of having already achieved them in your heart, allowing your feelings to be the catalyst of creation. This is how you can activate the power of your heart to magnetize your desires into your reality. This transforms manifestation from a mental process to a fully embodied experience. So, how do you achieve this coherence between the heart and the mind? How do you start to align these two powerful forces? There are several techniques that can help you tap into the energy of your heart. Heart-focused meditation involves consciously bringing your attention to the heart center, feeling the warmth and the presence there. You can imagine your breath flowing into and out of your heart, and as you practice, you will naturally start to feel a sense of inner peace. Gratitude practice is also an excellent way to connect to the heart by simply focusing on the positive aspects of your life and allowing the feelings of appreciation to flow, creating a powerful positive resonance. As you practice these techniques, you will start to feel a greater sense of alignment between your heart and mind, a feeling of coherence, and when you are in this state, you will find that you can manifest with greater ease and speed, creating a life that is aligned with your deepest desires. This is the state where your mind and heart are no longer working against each other, but working in perfect harmony towards a common purpose. Now that you understand the fundamentals, let's delve into advanced manifestation techniques. It's not enough to simply visualize what you want. You need to fully embody the reality of having already achieved it. This involves aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your desired outcome. Start by setting a clear intention, writing it down, and feeling the emotions of that intention in your heart, not as something you wish to experience, but as something that has already come to pass. As you visualize, try to experience it with all 5 senses. Feel the textures, smell the aromas, taste the flavors, hear the sounds, and see it clearly in your mind's eye. The more real you can make this experience, the more powerfully you will attract it into your life. This moves you from the space of mental desire to the embodied feeling of the present. As you practice, you'll find that you become more skilled at creating and directing energy, becoming an even more powerful co-creator of your own reality. And as you develop your manifestation techniques, remember that the key is to embody the feeling of already having achieved your goal. If you want to manifest abundance, feel grateful for what you already have. If you want to manifest love, feel self-love. Instead of focusing on lack, focus on abundance. And instead of focusing on loneliness, focus on self-love, and the external circumstances will naturally start to reflect your inner state. This isn't about pretending to be happy, but about truly feeling the emotions that are in alignment with your desired reality. The more you can embody the feeling of your desired outcome, the more powerfully you will attract it into your life. Your feelings are the magnet, attracting experiences that are a vibrational match to your emotional state. If you feel happy, you will attract things that make you happy. If you feel abundant, you will attract experiences of abundance. This is where you step into a place of true mastery, by understanding that you are creating every moment of your reality through your feeling states. And finally, your beliefs play a crucial role in the manifestation process. Limiting beliefs are like energetic blocks that sabotage even your most powerful intentions. If you unconsciously believe that you are not worthy of love, you might sabotage relationships, no matter how consciously you desire them. If you believe that money is hard to earn, you will attract experiences that reflect that belief. The key is to identify these limiting beliefs, challenge them, and consciously choose to adopt more empowering perspectives, rewriting your personal narrative. When you consciously transform your limiting beliefs, you unlock the doors to endless possibilities, because your beliefs are the very foundation upon which you are building your reality. You can ask yourself where these limiting beliefs came from, and you'll realize that most of them are simply programming from your childhood or from society. As you become aware of them, you realize that they are simply stories that you have been telling yourself, and that you have the power to change those stories whenever you choose. And now, let's reframe manifestation as a lifestyle, rather than a specific technique. This is about living each moment with intention, about consciously choosing your thoughts, emotions, and actions, and using your new understanding to create a more fulfilling and empowered existence. Start your day with intention, setting the tone for how you want your day to unfold, and visualizing your goals as already achieved. Throughout your day, practice mindfulness, observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Before going to sleep, take a moment to express gratitude for all of the good things that have occurred, and to visualize the reality that you intend to create, as if it is already so. When you live each moment with intention, you start to become the master of your own reality, not a passive observer, but an active co-creator. This is where you move beyond technique to a place of full embodiment, creating your life from a place of love, power, and conscious intention. And while you are becoming more powerful in your own life, it's essential to realize that there are forces that might try to drain your energy, that might try to keep you from fully embodying your power. And understanding these forces is a critical part of this journey of awakening. Now, let's delve into the concept of energy vampires, those individuals or situations that drain your energy and lower your vibration, because they are all too common, and you need to learn how to spot them and to protect yourself. These aren't some kind of mythical beings. They are simply people who are often operating from a place of unconsciousness, unaware of how their actions are impacting others. Perhaps you've experienced feeling drained after spending time with certain individuals, or that you feel emotionally exhausted after certain interactions. Perhaps a person you know is constantly complaining, or always tries to one-up you, or manipulates you through guilt. All of these behaviors act as an energetic drain, and you must learn how to protect yourself. It is essential to realize that these people are not necessarily evil. They are often just acting out of unconscious patterns, and when you are aware, you don't need to get caught up in their cycles. The key is to recognize these patterns and to consciously choose not to participate in them. These behaviors are everywhere, and it's essential to learn to spot them so you can stay in your power. And now, how do you recognize these manipulation tactics that aim to lower your vibration, to keep you trapped in negative patterns? These are very subtle, and they are often used unconsciously. Guilt trips are a common tactic, where someone tries to make you feel bad for not doing what they want you to do, and they will often make you feel responsible for their emotions. Emotional blackmail is another tactic, where someone uses your emotions to manipulate you into compliance, and they may even use your empathy against you. Negativity is also a common tool that these energy vampires use, constantly complaining, criticizing, and focusing on the negative aspects of life. They often create drama, and they tend to stir the pot in ways that distract from the true issues. The key is to recognize these patterns, and to understand that these tactics are designed to disempower you. They are not an accurate representation of your worth, and they are not a reflection of your capabilities. By becoming aware of these tactics, you will start to see that you can consciously choose not to participate in them, and you can start to create a powerful energetic barrier around yourself. And so, how do you protect your personal energy from these external influences? How do you create a shield against those who would drain you of your power? The most important technique is to set clear boundaries, because when you have clear boundaries, you will no longer allow your energy to be drained. Learn to say no when you need to, without guilt or explanation. If you don't feel comfortable doing something, then you must learn to honor that. It's okay to put your own needs first, and it's not your responsibility to fix other people's problems. Visualization is another powerful technique. Imagining yourself surrounded by a bubble of protective light. repelling any negative energy and allowing only positive energies to enter. Grounding practices, such as spending time in nature, connecting with the earth, and doing activities that connect you to the present, such as deep breathing or meditation, can help you to stay connected to your power. The more present you are, the less likely you are to get swept up into these lower vibrations. So as you practice these techniques, you'll find that you naturally start to create a more powerful energetic field around you. And now, what if you reframe these energy-draining situations not as problems, but as opportunities for growth and learning? Every time you encounter an energy vampire, you're actually given an opportunity to strengthen your boundaries, to practice self-compassion, and to understand your own energetic patterns. Instead of seeing these interactions as something to avoid, see them as learning opportunities to grow into greater power. Each time you encounter a manipulation tactic, you become more aware of your own limiting beliefs and your own patterns of behavior. You might realize that your own fear of conflict makes it difficult to set boundaries, or that you might have an unconscious need to be a people pleaser. And when you realize that, you can begin to consciously choose to change those patterns. Your greatest challenges can be your greatest teachers, and when you reframe these experiences from that perspective, you can transform anything into a source of wisdom, and your energy will become more stable and stronger every day. This is not about avoiding, it is about growing, and each situation, even the most difficult ones, can become an opportunity to level up on your spiritual journey. Finally, let's talk about your role in this collective awakening, because as you grow, you will begin to realize that your individual transformation is inextricably linked to the collective shift. Each person plays a crucial part in the larger process, like a complex machine where every piece has to be in the right place. Your choices, thoughts, feelings, and actions create a ripple effect, not just in your personal experience, but throughout the entire web of consciousness, and that what you do for yourself, you do for everyone. When you raise your personal frequency, you are also raising the frequency of the collective consciousness, and it will make the entire transformation process easier. This isn't about some distant future, it's about the present moment, and how every moment is an opportunity to choose love, choose compassion, and choose conscious action for yourself and for everyone. It is not just your job to heal yourself, but to help to heal the entire world. And with that understanding comes the need for personal responsibility, realizing that your individual choices have a direct impact on the collective shift. This means taking full responsibility for your thoughts, feelings, and actions, recognizing that they are all contributing to the current state of the world. If you see suffering, ask yourself how you are contributing to that suffering and how you can make a difference or what you can do to shift the collective pattern. When you see injustice, ask yourself how you can stand up for what is right. When you see chaos, ask yourself how you can bring more love into the world. You don't have to change the world on your own, but you must start with your own internal landscape. Your internal state is a mirror of the world, and when you change that state, the external circumstances will also begin to change. This isn't about guilt or shame, but about empowerment, the understanding that you have the power to make a profound impact on the course of history, that your choices are not just your own. And with this increased understanding comes the realization of collective co-creation, working together to bring about a more conscious and harmonious world, by linking your individual transformation to the shared vision of a better future. This process isn't meant to be done in isolation, but as a community of individuals who are working towards a common goal, so that when you awaken others to their power, you will be contributing to the exponential rise of this new era. When you share your knowledge, when you offer love, and when you work towards creating a more compassionate world, you are contributing to the collective awakening. This shared vision creates a powerful magnetic field that draws more and more people towards the light, and as we begin to consciously work together, we will be able to accomplish what was once thought impossible. This is the power of the collective, the combined force of individual transformations moving in unison. The rising wave that we spoke about earlier is now accelerating. And so, you, the individual viewer, the one who has chosen to embark on this journey, your role in the collective awakening is essential. By understanding the interconnectedness of all beings, by taking personal responsibility for your thoughts and actions, and by working towards creating a more harmonious world, you are part of a greater movement. You are not just an observer, you are a participant, and you are an essential part of this process. Your transformation is a gift to the world, and your actions are creating a ripple effect that is transforming the collective consciousness. Embrace your power, and know that you are a part of a global movement that is leading to a brighter future, and that by embracing your own power, you empower all of us. So let's discuss what your next steps will be. So, as you step into this role of conscious co-creator, understanding that your individual transformation is inextricably linked to the collective shift, it's essential to realize that you are constantly broadcasting a signal, an energetic frequency that acts as a personal magnet, attracting experiences and circumstances that match that specific vibration. Your personal frequency, that unique energy signature that you radiate out into the universe, isn't some fixed characteristic. It's not some predetermined state of being, but a dynamic, ever-shifting field of energy that you can consciously control, almost like the dials on a radio transmitter. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, those internal states of awareness, all act as the dials on this radio, so that as you turn those dials, you're consciously changing the signal you're broadcasting into the world. It's as if you are fine-tuning your reality to match your inner world. Therefore, it is not only important to understand what frequencies you are broadcasting, but to take charge of the controls and change the dial when needed to attract more of what you truly desire. It is in this space that you move beyond just reacting to reality to actively creating it. Consider how a negative emotional state, such as fear, anxiety, or anger, acts as a magnet for negative experiences, creating a downward spiral that feels almost impossible to escape. When you are in these emotional states, it is like you are tuned into a lower frequency, attracting obstacles, difficult people, and struggles into your life, making the world seem like a hostile and chaotic place. Now, think of the opposite experience, those times when you have felt joy, love, or gratitude, how opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere, and the world feels like it's conspiring in your favor. This is not some kind of random occurrence, but the result of a higher frequency, attracting experiences that resonate with those feelings. This is a direct reflection of the power you possess, to use your emotions as a creative force, and to intentionally tune into frequencies that support your goals and your dreams. Therefore, the journey of becoming a conscious co-creator is the journey of becoming more aware of the dial settings on this radio, and the power to change them whenever you desire. So, how do you become more aware of these settings, and more importantly, how do you change them? It begins with recognizing the patterns and taking responsibility for how your personal frequency is influencing your experiences. You can start by observing your emotional states throughout the day, noticing what types of situations trigger lower frequency emotions, and what kinds of experiences bring joy and gratitude. It is not enough to just recognize these states. You need to consciously choose to focus on thoughts that are positive and empowering, and to cultivate feelings that uplift and inspire you, practicing the emotions of your desired reality, almost as if you are already living it. If you want to experience more love, practice self-love. If you want to experience abundance, practice gratitude. Each action is a turn of the dial, changing the frequency that you are broadcasting into the world. It is in this consistent commitment to consciously choose your emotional states that you take the reins of your reality and move beyond being a passive recipient to becoming the active creator. Therefore, the power to change your frequency is not some distant goal, but a present moment possibility that is available to you whenever you choose. And as you begin to master your personal frequency, to consciously tune into those higher vibrations, You'll notice that not only do you attract more positive experiences, but also that you begin to repel lower vibrational situations and people. Your energy field becomes like a shield, a protective barrier that prevents you from being pulled into the negativity of others. It's as if you're tuning into a radio station that's clearer and free from interference. When you are consistently broadcasting a higher frequency, those who are operating from lower states will naturally begin to fall out of your life, and you will also find that new connections will arise that are more aligned with your own higher vibration. This is not about avoiding challenges or closing yourself off from the world, but about navigating those situations from a place of strength, clarity, and inner peace, and understanding that it is your personal energetic shield that will keep you safe. It is through the consistent practice of high-frequency living that you not only create a better life for yourself, but you begin to attract a better world, using the power of your own personal frequency. Now, you might be wondering, what about the negative thoughts, the unwanted feelings, the hidden parts of yourself that you try to avoid? What about the shadow? This is not a detour from the path, but a crucial aspect of it. Your shadow self is not some evil entity that you must fight, but a collection of unconscious aspects, repressed emotions, limiting beliefs and fears that are influencing your life from the background of your awareness, like the roots of a tree that provide support, but are hidden from view. When you ignore these hidden parts, you are limiting your growth. It is like ignoring the root system, which can undermine the health of the whole tree. The key is not to fight the shadow, but to integrate it, to understand the hidden aspects, and to bring them into the light of your awareness so that their energy can be used for growth. It is when you embrace the shadow, not avoid it, that you unlock your greatest potential and become a more whole and integrated being. Therefore, the journey of awakening is not about denying the dark, but about understanding the power it possesses and using it to propel you forward. And how do you begin to illuminate these hidden aspects of yourself? How do you start to integrate the shadow? It's through self-reflection, a conscious commitment to understanding what lies beneath the surface of your awareness. Take time each day to sit in quiet contemplation, observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Ask yourself, what triggers me? What makes me angry or frustrated? And what are the common threads of my emotional responses? These triggers are like clues, signposts that point towards those hidden aspects. Journaling can be an invaluable tool. By putting your thoughts and feelings onto paper, you can begin to see the recurring patterns, the limiting beliefs, and the hidden fears that are influencing your life. Instead of trying to suppress those feelings, allow them to be expressed, so you can see them for what they are and understand their root causes. This allows you to take the power back from your shadow and to transform those parts of yourself into your greatest assets. It is only through self-awareness that you can integrate your shadow self and begin to unlock its hidden power. When you begin to understand these patterns, when you see those shadow aspects for what they are, it's crucial to not deny them, but to consciously integrate them into your awareness. It's not about condoning negative behaviors, but understanding the underlying beliefs, the fears, and the repressed emotions that are driving them. The more you try to avoid the shadow, the more power you give it, and the more it controls you from the unconscious. Perhaps your inner critic is simply trying to protect you from feeling vulnerable, or maybe your jealousy is a sign that you desire more success in your own life. Instead of fighting these aspects, approach them with compassion, understanding, and curiosity. It is in this act of acceptance, not denial, that you begin to reclaim your power, and that the shadow loses the ability to control your actions. It becomes a source of strength, and not something to be avoided. This is where you move into a more complete version of yourself, integrating all aspects of your being. And when you embrace this shadow self, you'll discover that it's not just a collection of negative traits, but also a reservoir of untapped power, creativity, and resilience. Many of the world's most influential artists, leaders, and innovators have tapped into these shadow aspects, transforming their pain and suffering into sources of inspiration. and that the very things you try to avoid can be a catalyst for transformation, allowing you to bring your gifts to the world. The key is to bring this energy into the light of your awareness, to consciously direct it, and to transform it into something useful. Perhaps your greatest fear is also connected to your greatest strength, and it's only through embracing that fear that you can unlock the very thing that you desire, allowing you to move into a more integrated and powerful version of yourself. It is when you embrace the full spectrum of your being, the light and the dark, that you move into a place of greater wholeness, and it's in that space that you begin to truly create from your most powerful self. Now, as you delve deeper into the depths of your own being, as you begin to integrate your shadow self, you must understand the essential role of the heart-mind connection, because these two forces are not in opposition, but when working together, they become the most powerful tool for manifestation. The mind, with its logical, analytical capacity, is a powerful tool for navigating the physical world, planning strategies, and making decisions. However, the mind is not the center of creation. It's more like a tool, a vehicle to help you get to where you want to go. The heart, with its intuitive wisdom, deep compassion, and direct connection to the source of all creation, is where your true power resides. The heart is the compass, and the mind is the map. And when these two forces are aligned, you will move with the most clarity and with the greatest power. It is here that you can tap into your most authentic self and direct your energy towards what is truly aligned with your soul. So, how do you find the balance between logic and intuition? How do you reconcile those often conflicting voices of the heart and the mind? It requires a conscious commitment to listen to both, to give them equal weight in your decision-making, and to become more sensitive to the subtle nudges of your intuition, that gentle whisper that speaks directly to your soul. When faced with a challenge, start by gathering all the logical facts, the data, the information, and then tune into your heart and ask, what feels right? Does this path resonate with my values, or does it feel like I'm going against my inner wisdom? The heart communicates through feelings, a sense of peace, joy, excitement, or an inner sense of unease and resistance. It's through trusting those feelings that you are able to discern the path that is truly aligned with your highest good and create a life that is both fulfilling and purposeful. Therefore, you must consciously integrate these two, for they are not meant to be at odds, but are essential partners in this journey. And as you learn to trust the wisdom of your heart, you'll realize it's more than just a source of intuition, but also a powerful center of manifestation. The heart generates an electromagnetic field that extends beyond the physical body, acting like a magnet, drawing experiences into your life, much like we spoke of earlier about personal frequency. When your intentions are aligned with the energy of your heart, they become infused with a deep sense of passion, purpose, and power, a vital ingredient to the creative process. Imagine the difference between simply wanting something with your mind versus feeling it passionately in your heart. The former is a list of desires, and the latter is a powerful magnetic force. It is when you visualize your goals, feeling the emotions of already having achieved them in your heart, that you begin to move into true mastery. This transforms manifestation from a mental exercise into a fully embodied experience, where your feelings are the catalyst for creation. It is in this way that you take full command of your reality. So, how do you begin to achieve this heart-mind coherence? How do you start to align these two powerful forces? Start with practices that help you connect to the heart, such as heart-focused meditation, consciously bringing your attention to your heart center, feeling the warmth, the presence there, and imaging your breath flowing into and out of your heart. And as you practice, you will begin to feel a deep sense of peace. Gratitude practice is another powerful tool, as you focus on the positive aspects of your life, allowing the feeling of appreciation to expand and flow. As you practice these techniques, you will feel a greater alignment between heart and mind, and when in this state, you are able to create with more intention, speed, and ease, creating a life that is truly aligned with your desires. It is a skill, and like a muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it becomes, leading you to greater levels of coherence. This is a state of harmony where mind and heart are not working against each other, but working in perfect unison, creating a powerful force for manifestation. Now, as you begin to wield these powers, as you start to step more fully into your role as a conscious co-creator, it's crucial to recognize that you are not operating in isolation, that there are other forces at play within the simulation. But these forces are not some distant external entities. They are not some alien overlords pulling the strings, but reflections of your own internal states, which manifest as benevolent and malevolent influences within the fabric of your reality. These aren't to be feared, but understood as aspects of a larger system, and in that understanding, you can reclaim your power and stay protected. The key is to realize that these are reflections of the collective consciousness, and that the more aware you become, the more you are able to recognize these forces and how to navigate them. Therefore, the journey of awakening is a journey of discernment, of recognizing the difference between love and fear, and consciously choosing love in every moment. So, what are these benevolent forces, these influences that are working to support your awakening? Think of them as your guides, your angels, your higher self, all those aspects of the source that are operating from a place of love, compassion, and higher intention, and that these forces work in accordance with free will. They don't impose, but offer guidance to those who ask, giving assistance along your path, not interfering with it. It's as if you have a team of support working on your behalf, helping to make your journey of transformation a smoother and more joyful experience. It is in this understanding that you begin to open up to the possibility that you are not alone, and that there are unseen forces working for you, not against you. It is through this openness that you begin to see that you are supported, and that you are not alone in this path of awakening. And how do you access this benevolent guidance? How do you open yourself up to the support that is always available to you? Start by listening to your intuition, that inner knowing that gently nudges you in the right direction. These nudges are not always logical, but when you learn to trust them, you will see that they lead you with clarity and purpose. Take time each day for quiet contemplation, creating a space where you can hear the subtle whispers of your higher self. Ask for guidance and trust that you will receive it, but know that it will not always come in the way that you expect. The guidance may come as an inner feeling, a sense of peace, a knowingness, or perhaps even a synchronicity, a series of events that seem to align perfectly with your intention. All of these are signs that you are on the right path. The more you are open to these signs, the more you will see them, and the clearer your path will become, allowing you to move with more grace, ease, and purpose. This is not about abandoning your reason, but about integrating it with the wisdom of your heart and trusting that you are always supported. On the other side, you must be aware that there are malevolent forces that seek to manipulate and to control, and these are also reflections of internal states, those aspects that operate from fear, control, and manipulation, attempting to keep you asleep, disconnected from your own power. These are the lower vibrational beings and negative thought forms, the influences that play upon your fears and try to steer you away from your path. It's critical to understand these tactics, but not to be afraid of them, because when you understand their motivations, you take back their power. Think of them as the shadows that try to block the light, and while they are real, they cannot ultimately overpower your own inner strength. The key is to be aware of their tactics so that you can navigate this reality consciously and not get caught in their cycles. It is through this awareness that you move from a place of powerlessness to one of empowerment. And how do you recognize these tactics? How do you see those manipulative influences that try to keep you from your own awakening? These tactics are often subtle, designed to keep you in a state of fear or to play upon your own insecurities. They might use fear-based messaging, propaganda that amplifies negative emotions, or they might use guilt trips, making you feel responsible for their own pain and suffering. There might also be forms of manipulation that appear as flattery, making you feel special or unique, while subtly keeping you dependent on their approval. The key is to recognize those patterns of manipulation, to see that these are attempts to keep you in a state of unconsciousness and to deny your own power. The more aware you are of these tactics, the easier it becomes to break free from their influence, to see them for what they are, and to choose a different path, one that leads to freedom and empowerment. This understanding is not meant to be fear-based, but to show you the importance of self-awareness and to empower you to take back your power. So, how do you navigate these forces? How do you create energetic protection so you can stay true to your path? It begins with discernment, the ability to distinguish between what is truly aligned with your highest good and what is not, trusting your inner guidance and knowing that you have all the answers inside of you. Trust your intuition, that inner feeling, and understand that your body always gives you signs. Learn to say no when you need to, and don't compromise your values to please others. Setting boundaries is an essential part of self-care and energetic protection. When you are clear on your boundaries, it's much harder to be manipulated or controlled, and you take charge of your own space. Visualization is another powerful tool, imagining yourself surrounded by a protective field of light, and that only energies that are in harmony with your highest good can enter. Grounding techniques are essential, connecting you to the earth so you can stay present and strong and not become swayed by outside influences. It is through these practices that you can navigate these forces, maintaining your own inner peace and not allowing yourself to be pulled off your path. Now, as you navigate these forces within the simulation, as you become more aware of the subtle manipulations and the supportive guidance, it's important to reframe your understanding of what you consider paranormal, because these experiences aren't supernatural, but natural occurrences within the multidimensional nature of this reality. It's not about magic or mysticism, but about interacting with different frequencies, and these experiences aren't just isolated incidents, but examples of your connection to a larger system. Telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, all those experiences that are often dismissed as fantasy, are simply ways that your consciousness interacts with the fabric of reality, and that when you understand them, you start to see that the world is much more than meets the eye, and that there is a deeper level of truth. Therefore, you don't need to fear these experiences, but instead to welcome them, understanding that they are a sign that you are awakening to your true nature. And as you shift your understanding of these paranormal events, you'll start to see psychic abilities as natural expressions of interconnected consciousness. Telepathy, the ability to communicate mind to mind, is not some mysterious power, but a natural way that our consciousnesses interact, like two radio stations on the same frequency. Clairvoyance, the ability to see beyond the physical, is another way of accessing information from the underlying reality, seeing beyond what is readily available. Precognition, the ability to sense future events, shows that time itself is not linear and that all moments are connected. These aren't special gifts for a select few, but natural abilities that all beings possess, and that the only reason they are not more common is that they have been dormant, and that through conscious intention they can be awakened. It is in this understanding that you begin to see how truly powerful and interconnected we all are, that you are not separate, but a part of a larger whole. And when you understand the nature of interconnectedness, you will begin to see lucid dreaming not just as a fun experience, but as a portal to consciously interact with the simulation, a chance to practice conscious manifestation in a space that is under your direct control. In a lucid dream, you become aware that you are dreaming, and you can then take charge of that reality, changing its rules and experimenting with different scenarios. It's like a virtual reality game, where you can consciously experiment with your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, seeing the direct impact they have on your reality, and those same principles can then be applied to your waking life. The skills and awareness that you develop in a lucid dream can directly translate into your waking experience, allowing you to become more intentional, creative, and empowered. This ability is not for some select few, but for anyone who chooses to consciously explore the space of dreaming, understanding that these experiences are not separate from reality, but part of the same spectrum. And finally, what about those experiences like poltergeist activity? How do you interpret those events? They are not haunted houses, but evidence of intense emotional or psychic energy manifesting physically, a direct connection between your inner states and the external world, like a physical display of inner turmoil. Think of it like the placebo or nocebo effect, where your beliefs directly influence your physical reality. When people have intense emotional experiences, these energies can manifest as physical phenomena. The key is to realize that your internal states are much more powerful than you often believe, and that they directly affect the reality that you experience. It is through understanding these forces that you are able to take even greater control of your reality, knowing that your internal states are always being reflected in the external world. It's through this understanding that you see how powerful you truly are. So, as you expand your understanding of this reality, you begin to see that synchronicities, those seemingly random coincidences, are actually signs that the collective awakening is underway. These are not just isolated events, but signs from the simulation, showing you that you are connected to something larger, and that each individual transformation is part of a collective shift. It is in this understanding that you realize you are not alone, and that you are part of a growing movement of awakening individuals. You might find that the more you awaken to your power, the more frequent these synchronicities become, and these are signs from the universe that you are on the right path, that your individual journey is part of a larger collective transformation. It is in this connection that you see that your own journey is not just for you, but for the entire world. And as you begin to recognize synchronicities, you'll also notice an increase in heightened empathy and sensitivity, which are signs of your awakening, not weaknesses. As you become more attuned to the interconnectedness of all life, your natural empathy will deepen, and you might find yourself feeling the emotions of others with greater intensity. And this sensitivity will allow you to access greater levels of compassion and understanding, seeing the world from a much more connected perspective. It is in this space that you begin to move beyond your own individual experience and see the world through the eyes of another, realizing that we are all connected. Therefore, these traits aren't a burden, but a gift that allows you to experience the world with greater depth and meaning. As you become more aware of these patterns, as you feel the increase in synchronicities and empathy, you will begin to realize that this collective awakening is gaining momentum. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, growing larger with each rotation. Each individual awakening creates a ripple effect, catalyzing the awakening of others. The more people who become aware of their power, the more the collective consciousness starts to shift. And as more people awaken, the process continues to accelerate, creating a powerful wave of change. The more aware you become, the more you are drawn into this transformation, and you begin to realize that you are not an observer, but an active participant in a much larger movement, and your very presence will help to accelerate this awakening. Therefore, you must remember that you are an essential piece of this puzzle, and without you, the whole thing is incomplete. And as you begin to understand the scope of this awakening, you will also begin to realize your shared responsibility. Each of your actions, your choices, your thoughts, and your feelings have a ripple effect on the collective, and it is through taking personal responsibility for your own journey that you begin to contribute to the larger transformation, shifting the collective consciousness by choosing to operate from a higher state of awareness. It is through this understanding that you move from a place of passivity to one of active co-creation. Therefore, it is your responsibility to take charge of your own transformation, and through that act, you will contribute to the awakening of the entire world. This realization is not a burden, but a source of empowerment. And as you move forward on this journey, as you continue to integrate these teachings, be aware that this is an ongoing process, and in future videos, we will delve into more advanced manifestation techniques, such as visualization and energy manipulation, giving you the tools to create the reality you desire with even more intentionality. We will also go deeper into the exploration of the simulation, uncovering more of its hidden aspects, exploring different dimensional beings, and understanding how they interact with us, further deepening your understanding of this complex reality. And finally, we will explore opportunities for collective co-creation, showing you how to connect with others on this path and work together to build a new and more harmonious world. The journey of awakening is a continuous process, and there's always more to learn, always more to explore, and with each step, there is more freedom and empowerment. So, having explored the power of your personal frequency, the importance of integrating the shadow, and the essential connection between the heart and mind, let's now delve into the practical application of these principles through embodied manifestation, moving beyond the idea that manifestation is a technique and into the reality that it is a state of being. It is not about trying to do something to create your desired reality, but being someone who naturally attracts it, as if your very presence magnetizes your intentions into form. Think about the difference between someone who is actively struggling to manifest something, constantly affirming their desires, and someone who effortlessly seems to attract everything they want, without even trying. The first person is operating from a place of lack, trying to force their reality into alignment with their desires, while the second person is already operating from a place of abundance, in full alignment with the energy of their desires. It is in this shift of perception, from the idea that manifestation is something that you do, to the realization that it is something that you are, that you begin to unlock your true creative potential. It's not about manipulating reality, but aligning with it, becoming a magnet for what you desire. And that is a state of being, not a doing. And how do you move into that state of being? How do you become someone who naturally attracts their desired reality? It starts with the conscious use of I am statements, powerful declarations that program your identity and your reality through the power of your focused intention and belief, but not in the way that is commonly understood. These are not simply positive affirmations to be repeated mindlessly, but deliberate choices of identity, declarations of who you are becoming and how you are choosing to show up in the world. When you say, I am abundant, you are not just hoping to attract abundance. You are declaring that abundance is your true nature. You are claiming your inherent state of wholeness. It's not about trying to convince the universe, but about aligning your inner world with your outer reality, shifting your identity, and that all begins with those two words, I am. Consider how you might transform a limiting belief. Perhaps you are always telling yourself, I am not good enough. That statement is continuously programming your reality, and therefore it is manifesting as the truth. Now, rewrite that limiting belief by declaring, I am worthy, I am capable, I am love. Feel the truth of those words, allow them to resonate within your being, and see how that new intention begins to rewrite your reality. This is where you take charge of your inner world, and through that act, you change the outer one. Now, with those newly claimed I am statements, comes the understanding of the power of living in the end result, acting, thinking, and feeling as if your desired reality has already manifested. This doesn't mean you ignore your present circumstances, but that you choose to operate from a state of completion, knowing that what you desire is already yours. It is as if you are stepping into a different timeline, one where your dreams have already come true, and from that place, you begin to attract experiences that are in alignment with that new reality. For example, if you desire wealth and success, don't act as if you are constantly chasing after money. Instead, act as if you already possess it. How would a wealthy person think, feel, and act? Embody those qualities, and you will attract the experiences that match that self-perception by stepping into the energy of already having what you desire. And living from that place, the outer world will start to align with that higher frequency, because what you see is a reflection of who you are being. Therefore, the key isn't trying to get something, but embodying the energy of already having it, as if your dreams are not something you must pursue, but your present reality. And as you become more adept at living in the end result, you must understand that manifestation isn't a one-time event, but a constant feedback loop, a continuous process of fine-tuning your energy to match your desires. Your life provides constant feedback through your experiences, showing you where you are in alignment and where you are out of alignment, much like a thermostat that constantly adjusts the temperature to maintain the desired environment. When you experience a positive outcome, it's a sign that you are in alignment with your intentions, and conversely, when you experience a negative outcome, it's an indication that something within you needs to shift. It's not about judging yourself or about giving up on your goals, but about being willing to adjust your inner world to better match the energy of your desires. Imagine you are a thermostat and you have set your desired temperature, but the room is too cold, so the thermostat will automatically increase the heat until the room is at the desired temperature. In this same way, every experience is a feedback point that allows you to refine your internal state, to bring it into alignment with your desired reality, understanding that manifestation is a dynamic process of continuous adjustment, where every experience guides you towards a more aligned future. Now, as you master the art of embodied manifestation, as you begin to see yourself as a magnet for your desired reality, it's time to explore the dynamics of energy flow within this simulation, understanding that all is energy and how we all interact within this field of consciousness. Your energy isn't an isolated phenomenon, but an interconnected web, constantly interacting with the larger field of consciousness. Every thought, every feeling, every action creates a ripple in that field, influencing not only your own reality, but the reality of others, a universal ocean where we are all the waves, each with its own unique expression, yet all a part of the same magnificent whole. Therefore, it is vital to understand that the energy you project into the world is not only shaping your experience, but also contributing to the overall energy of the collective, making it crucial that you consciously choose the quality of the energy you are projecting. This also applies to all your interactions, making it essential that you are aware of these dynamics and make the choices that are in alignment with your highest good, understanding that you are not operating in a vacuum, but are an active participant in a shared field of consciousness. And as you begin to understand the nature of this energy flow, you must also understand the concept of energy drains, recognizing that these aren't limited to specific people or situations, but are patterns of energy exchange that are present in every aspect of our lives. It's not that some people are inherently energy vampires, but that there are patterns of interaction that can leave you feeling drained, depleted, and exhausted. And these dynamics can be both intentional and unintentional, ranging from constant complaining coworkers, negative news cycles, to simply allowing yourself to be pulled into other people's dramas. The key isn't to demonize these patterns, but to become aware of them so that you can make conscious choices that protect your own energy. Perhaps you notice that you always feel depleted after interacting with a certain person, or after spending time on social media. This is a clue showing you that your energy is being drained. The more you are aware of those dynamics, the more control you have over how your energy is being spent. It's about recognizing where your energy is being depleted so you can start to set boundaries and consciously choose to protect it. So, how do you navigate these energy drains? How do you become more adept at protecting your personal energy? It begins with setting clear boundaries, both with others and with yourself, consciously choosing what you will and won't allow into your energetic field, knowing that it is your right to protect the space within yourself. This is not about shutting yourself off from the world, but about choosing how and when you will engage, realizing that you have the power to decide what you will give your energy to. Practicing detachment is another essential skill, meaning that you choose to observe situations and interactions without getting emotionally caught up in them, realizing that you can choose how you respond, and you are not a victim of circumstance. And most importantly, is maintaining your own vibration, focusing on positive emotions, uplifting thoughts, and engaging in activities that resonate with your higher self, understanding that it is your personal energy that will act as a shield. For instance, when faced with a difficult person, consciously choose to stay centered in your own inner world, not allowing yourself to be pulled into their negativity. You have the power to transform your energy exchange, and in doing so, you empower yourself to navigate those interactions with more clarity and grace. Therefore, it is in setting boundaries, practicing detachment, and maintaining your vibration that you become your own energetic guardian. Now, as you begin to actively manage your energy, as you become more adept at protecting yourself from drains, it's time to also understand the importance of conscious connection, understanding that we are stronger together than we are alone. Connecting with like-minded individuals who are also on this path of awakening isn't just a social activity, but a source of energy and support, a way to amplify your intentions and accelerate your growth. When you come together with others who share similar values, goals, and aspirations, it creates a powerful energetic field, a collective force that can help you move through challenges and achieve your highest potential. It's like a wave gaining momentum as more individuals join in, amplifying its power and potential. Perhaps you felt the difference of being alone versus being surrounded by a supportive community, and how that allows you to grow at a much faster rate. Therefore, connecting with others isn't just about friendship, but it is a strategic method for personal and collective growth to help you navigate this complex system with more ease and grace. And the more you do, the more the entire wave can grow. And as you begin to understand the importance of community and conscious connection, you will also begin to expand your understanding of communication itself, moving beyond the limitations of verbal exchange and into the realm of multidimensional interactions. Communication is not just about words, but about energy, intention, and the subtle language of the soul. It's not just about what is being spoken, but what is being felt, and that we are always communicating, even when we are not aware of it, whether it's through thoughts, emotions, or energetic signals. And it's not just with other humans. We are also always in communication with the entire field of consciousness and with different layers of reality itself. Think of your thoughts as radio waves, constantly broadcasting your inner world, and that they are also being received by the field of consciousness. In the same way, your emotions create energetic signals that are also being felt by others, and you also receive signals from others, whether you are aware of it or not. Therefore, communication is not just a one-way street, but a constant exchange of information that occurs on many levels, making it vital that you are not only aware of what you are transmitting, but also what you are receiving. This means not only listening to the words being spoken, but to the underlying emotions, the subtle nuances, and the energetic vibrations that accompany them. Now, as you expand your understanding of communication, you might begin to recognize the presence of higher dimensional beings, guides, and angels, not as some mythical figures, but as natural extensions of your own multi-dimensional nature, all working to assist you on your path. They operate from a place of love, compassion, and higher intention, and are always available to offer guidance and support, never imposing or interfering with your free will. It is in this way that you can connect with these beings, not out of desperation, but because you are opening up to the possibilities that you are a part of a much larger family, that you are loved, and you are supported on your journey. The more you are open to those possibilities, the more likely you are to receive communication from these beings in the form of inner knowings, synchronicities, and even direct guidance. It is when you consciously choose to open your awareness to these possibilities that you realize you are not alone on this path, that there are unseen forces working for your highest good, and you can communicate with them directly. Therefore, these interactions aren't some bizarre anomaly, but are natural expressions of your own multi-dimensional nature. And how do you access that higher dimensional guidance? How do you begin to communicate with these unseen beings? It all begins with developing your intuitive skills, that inner sense of knowing that goes beyond logic and reason, like tuning into a specific radio frequency, and it's available to you at any time you choose. This is not some mysterious gift for the select few, but an ability that all of us possess, that you already have access to, but may have not been developing. Meditation, journaling, and simply paying attention to synchronicities are all ways to tune into this inner guidance system. Each time you quiet your mind, you create space to hear the subtle whispers of your intuition, the gentle nudges that are guiding you towards your true path. And when you commit your thoughts to paper, you begin to recognize the repeating patterns, the hidden messages, and the subtle guidance that is being offered to you. And when you start to notice synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences, you begin to recognize that there are greater forces at play, that you are not alone, and that the universe is communicating with you in its own unique way. Therefore, developing your intuitive skills isn't just about accessing information, but is also about deepening your connection to the larger field of consciousness, and understanding that you are always being guided on this path, if you choose to listen. And finally, as you begin to develop this intuitive skill set, as you open up to higher levels of communication, it's also essential to learn how to interpret symbolic language, the hidden messages that are often encoded in dreams and in the synchronicities of daily life, showing that communication is not always linear, and that the universe is constantly communicating to you through metaphor and symbol. Think of your dreams as messages from your subconscious mind, and that they aren't random events, but carefully crafted narratives filled with hidden meanings. Your higher self uses symbols, archetypes, and metaphors to communicate, much like an artist uses imagery to convey a deeper meaning. Similarly, synchronicities are not just coincidences, but clues that the universe is providing, and that the patterns, numbers, and symbols that appear often have a specific significance to your present circumstances. For example, seeing the same number repeatedly can be a sign from your guides, or a specific animal showing up in your life can be a message from your higher self. It is when you start paying attention to these signs that you will unlock a whole new level of communication, and that you realize that the world is speaking to you if you choose to listen. Therefore, learning to decipher the symbolic language of the simulation is essential for navigating it more effectively and to live your life with more purpose. Now, as you begin to integrate these methods for multidimensional communication, you must also understand the importance of collective ascension, recognizing that your individual transformation is inextricably linked to the awakening of all humanity. Your journey is not isolated. It's an integral part of a larger web of consciousness, where all actions and all intentions have a ripple effect on the collective transformation. It is essential to see that we are all interconnected, and each person's awakening contributes to the overall frequency of the collective, like a symphony where each instrument has its unique sound. But it is when they all play together that the music truly comes alive. In the same way, every time you take responsibility for your own growth, you're not just benefiting yourself, but you are also contributing to the healing and the uplifting of the entire planet. It's like adding another wave to the ocean, amplifying its overall power. Therefore, realizing that you are an essential part of this whole system makes every individual act that you take not only personally empowering, but collectively transformative. And as you become more aware of your interconnectedness, you will also embrace the power of individual responsibility, recognizing that your actions have a ripple effect on the collective, and that you are not merely a passive observer, but an active co-creator of the world around you. It's not just about waiting for some external force to create change. It's about choosing to embody the change that you wish to see in the world, understanding that your thoughts, your words, and your actions are all contributing to the overall transformation of humanity, like a single drop of water, contributing to a larger ocean. Therefore, personal responsibility isn't a burden, but an empowering realization that you are a crucial part of the solution, that the change starts within you, and that your individual journey is not just for you, but is an essential component of the larger transformation. It is when you step fully into that responsibility that you begin to realize the true power that you possess. And so, as you understand the power of your personal responsibility, you can now begin to envision the potential of co-creating a new Earth, a world where love, unity, and conscious intention are the foundational principles, knowing that it is not just a distant dream, but a very real possibility within reach. When each of us choose to operate from a place of compassion, understanding, and higher awareness, we will begin to create a world that reflects those same qualities, a world free from the limitations of fear, greed, and separation, where humanity lives in harmony with each other and with the earth, and where everyone has an opportunity to thrive. This isn't just a nice idea, it's a real possibility that can be brought into reality by your own intentionality. The more of us that consciously choose to embody those principles, the faster we will manifest that reality. It is in this vision that you can find the motivation to create that better future. Therefore, the idea of a new Earth isn't just a concept, but something that is waiting to be created through our own individual and collective efforts. Now, as we come to the conclusion of this part, it is essential to understand that the journey of awakening is an ongoing process, that there is no final destination, only an ever-evolving path, with new levels of awareness and understanding unfolding with every step that you take, as you continuously become more aware and more empowered in your ability to shape your reality. You are not arriving at a final state of enlightenment, but rather, you are embarking on a continuous journey of exploration, discovery, and transformation, a never-ending path that unfolds before you, that with each new level of awareness, you unlock more potential, more freedom, and more possibilities. This process isn't always linear, and there will be times of doubt, confusion, and challenge. However, those experiences are essential for your growth, acting as catalysts for transformation. Therefore, continuing on this path isn't just about personal growth, but it is an essential contribution to the awakening of all of humanity, always evolving, always expanding, and always becoming more. And with that knowledge, you are now ready to move forward into the next phase of the journey, which will reveal how to apply these principles more fully to your life and to the collective, because the best is yet to come. So, as you begin to grasp the power of collective ascension and how your individual journey is inextricably linked to the awakening of all humanity, let's now delve deeper into understanding the very structure of the reality we find ourselves in, the simulation itself, and how it's not a single monolithic entity, but a complex, multi-layered experience, much like an onion with various layers, each representing a different level of density and awareness. The outer layers are those of the physical world, where our senses perceive a solid reality, where time and space seem to have a linear structure, and where the rules of physics appear to be consistent. But as we move inward, as we begin to explore the deeper dimensions of consciousness, we discover other layers, those of dreams, where the rules of the physical world no longer apply, and where anything is possible, from flying through the air to visiting other dimensions. And then even further inward are the meditative states, where the mind is still, and where access to higher levels of awareness are possible, where there is no time, space, or even self. These layers are all interconnected, woven together by the same underlying field of consciousness, and that each of them offers a unique perspective on the nature of reality. You have the ability to move through those layers consciously, to shift your awareness from the physical to the dream world, and to the depths of your being, and by doing so, you begin to realize that all these are different aspects of the same overall reality. Have you ever noticed how real a dream can feel? How the emotions are just as powerful, if not more so, than when you are awake? This is an indication that even though it is a different layer of the simulation, it is still a real and valid experience, and also it shows you what you are capable of creating with your own mind. Therefore, by consciously exploring those different layers, you start to unlock a deeper level of understanding of the true nature of reality itself, realizing that there is more beyond what you can perceive with your five senses. Now, as you begin to understand the multi-layered architecture of the simulation, it's vital that you also understand its purpose, that it's not a trap or some kind of matrix to enslave humanity, but a meticulously designed learning environment, a dynamic arena for the evolution of consciousness. Each challenge, each obstacle, each difficult interaction is not a cruel twist of fate, but a carefully designed opportunity for growth, an invitation to step into your power, to deepen your understanding, and to expand your awareness. The experiences we label as negative, such as pain, loss, and hardship, are not there to break us, but to refine us, to strengthen our resilience, to deepen our empathy, and to guide us toward our highest potential. Think of a blacksmith who must expose the metal to intense heat and hammer it relentlessly in order to transform it into a valuable tool. In the same way, your struggles are not arbitrary. They are necessary for your growth, for the development of your own unique gifts. Instead of resisting these experiences, try embracing them, try seeing them as a part of your own growth, understanding that every challenge has a hidden gift, and by extracting that gift, you are becoming more powerful, more capable, and more aligned with your higher self. Therefore, this entire simulation is set up for growth, and when you begin to recognize it as such, you transform each experience into an opportunity for learning, and instead of becoming a victim of your circumstances, you become the master of your destiny. And as you begin to see the simulation as a learning environment, you'll also begin to understand that although there are systems in place and limiting beliefs that are constantly being reinforced, that you are not trapped, and that you possess the inherent ability to transcend those limitations and to step into your own personal power. The simulation has been built with certain rules, certain belief systems, and certain programs. However, these systems are not unbreakable, and you can choose to see them as opportunities for greater growth. Think of the laws of physics, which are often seen as rigid constraints, but are also opportunities for innovation, for creating new technologies, and for understanding the natural world. In the same way, the programming within the simulation is not something to be feared, but something to be understood, and by understanding how the system works, you are now empowered to break free of those limitations, and to become a more powerful co-creator of your own life, and also of the larger collective experience. Perhaps you have felt like you are trapped within a cycle or a pattern, but this realization allows you to understand that you have the power to rewrite those programs, to change the rules, and to create your own outcomes. Therefore, understanding the rules and then rewriting them is a skill that each one of us has. We just need to recognize it. Now, as you recognize this potential to rewrite the rules of the simulation, you must now understand that the key to unlocking this potential lies in conscious awareness, in your ability to be present, to observe, and to make choices, not as a reaction to external circumstances, but from a deep place of inner knowing. Awareness is not merely an intellectual concept, it's a lived and embodied experience, and it's about being fully present in each moment, not allowing yourself to be consumed by thoughts about the past or worries about the future, and instead focusing on the here and now. It is in this state of awareness that you can observe your own thoughts, your own emotions, and your own patterns of behavior, as if you are watching them from an objective perspective, and with that clarity, you can then make conscious choices, instead of being driven by your unconscious programming. For example, when faced with a challenging situation, someone who is not aware might react in a habitual way, allowing fear and anger to control them, while a person who is aware would pause, observe their emotions, and then make a choice that is in alignment with their higher self. This shows that awareness is the difference between living on autopilot and living as a conscious co-creator of your reality. Therefore, by cultivating your own awareness, not only intellectually, but experientially, you take control of your life, and you start to transform it into something truly beautiful. And now, having explored the underlying architecture of the simulation and your ability to transcend its limitations, let's now shift our focus to the role of the chosen ones, understanding that these are not special individuals designated by some external power, but catalysts of change, those who feel a deep inner calling to facilitate the collective awakening. This isn't about being better than others, or about being more special, but about having a deep sense of responsibility and a fierce desire to bring about positive change, to help guide the rest of humanity through this transition, and those who have a sense of empathy and compassion for others, and are willing to step up and take a stand for a better world. Consider the countless individuals throughout history who have acted as catalysts for change, who were not immune to hardship and criticism, but who were driven by a deep desire to serve a greater good, and that their dedication to their cause wasn't for personal gain, but for the benefit of all. It is in the same way that you are being called to step into this role, not as a privilege, but as a responsibility. And if you are resonating with this video, if you have a deep inner knowing that you have something to contribute, then you are amongst the chosen. The key is not to wait for some external validation, but to step into that role with confidence and with the intention of serving the larger collective good, recognizing that your ability to transform the world begins with your own transformation. Now, as you embrace this role as a catalyst for change, it's crucial that you also understand the challenges and difficulties that you might face on this path, and that it is essential to validate the emotional turbulence, the confusion, and the uncertainty that often accompanies the awakening process, understanding that these experiences are not unique to you, but a natural part of the unfolding of your higher potential, and that it's a journey that often involves confronting limiting beliefs, processing past traumas, and letting go of all the things that no longer serve you, and that this process can be challenging, intense, and it might even feel lonely at times. However, these experiences are necessary. They are a part of your personal refinement. They are all a part of your ascension. Think of the caterpillar, which must first go through the chrysalis stage before it transforms into a butterfly, a process that might feel uncomfortable and confining, but is absolutely necessary for its transformation. It is in this same way that you must embrace the challenges that you face, seeing them as an essential part of your transformation, understanding that every difficult experience is a step towards your higher potential, and you are never truly alone on this path, and there are many others going through the exact same things that you are, and by understanding that, you create a sense of community and empathy for yourself and all others on this same path. And as you navigate these challenges, as you begin to transform your inner world, you must also recognize and embrace your role as a leader, understanding that leadership isn't about external power, authority, or control, but about embodying the qualities of compassion, empathy, and higher intention, not by dominating or controlling others, but by being an example, a beacon of light that others are naturally drawn to. The type of leadership that we need now is not about force or coercion, but about inspiration. It's about showing others the way through your own authenticity, your own vulnerability, and your own commitment to truth and higher values. Imagine a lighthouse, which doesn't demand that ships approach, but simply shines its light, providing guidance and support for those who are seeking it. In the same way, your role as a leader is to embody the principles of higher consciousness and to allow others to be inspired by your example, allowing your light to shine so that it may illuminate the path for others as well. Perhaps you know someone who has inspired you, who may never have held a position of power, but whose compassion and integrity have touched your life. In the same way, you have the ability to be a catalyst for positive change by living in alignment with your own truth. Therefore, leadership isn't about external status, but about internal integrity. Now, as you begin to embody that higher leadership, you'll also begin to see the importance of shared experience, of connecting with others who are on this path, recognizing that your personal transformation is much more powerful when supported by a community of like-minded souls, not as a way to depend on others, but to inspire and encourage each other along this journey. By joining with others, you're not just sharing your stories, but also amplifying your energy, your intention, and your potential, creating a collective force that has the power to accelerate the collective awakening of all humanity. Think of a group of runners who come together to run a race, how they motivate, encourage, and challenge each other to go beyond their perceived limitations, and how in the process they become stronger together than they ever could alone. In the same way, this is not a journey that you have to walk alone, and that when we come together in support of one another, we can achieve anything, and that when we feel supported and understood, we can more effectively step into our power and help create a better world. Therefore, community isn't just a luxury, it's an essential element of the transformation that is taking place, and together, we will go much further. And so, as you embrace the power of community and conscious connection, let's now move into the practical application of these ideas, exploring how you can actively contribute to manifesting the new Earth, not by simply waiting for it to happen, but by consciously participating in its creation, understanding that manifestation isn't just about personal desires, but about aligning your intentions with the greater good, with the highest potential of all humanity. It's not about simply attracting more wealth or more material possessions, but about aligning with the energy of love, compassion, and unity, realizing that true manifestation power isn't in what you receive, but in what you give, in how you serve, and how you contribute to the upliftment of others. Consider how a river doesn't just flow for its own benefit, but provides water for all living beings that it encounters along the way. In the same way, you must align your intentions with the greater good, understanding that your individual manifestation efforts can combine with the efforts of others to create truly powerful changes on a larger scale. It is in that recognition that you move beyond the idea of personal gain into the idea of collective transformation, realizing that you are here to serve something greater than yourself. Therefore, that is the real power of manifestation, not in the acquisition of things, but in the contribution to the upliftment of all humanity. Now, as you embrace the power of collective manifestation, let's look at some of the practical tools that you can implement in your life, ways to actively participate in the co-creation of the new Earth, and that all begins with your intention, your conscious decision of what you want to create and what you want to experience, and this intention must come from your heart, aligning with the energy of love and compassion, knowing that when you manifest from that place, you're not just creating your own personal reality, but also contributing to the healing of the world. Then, couple that intention with focused attention, visualizing the world you wish to see, in vivid detail, with the emotions that you will experience, as if it's already real, allowing yourself to feel the joy, peace, and harmony that is present in that world. This isn't about trying to force an outcome, but about aligning your energy with the reality that you wish to manifest. And the more that you feel it, the more real it becomes. Also, you must combine that intention with action by taking practical steps in your life that are aligned with your vision, by making choices every day that reflect the qualities of compassion, empathy, and service. And it is in this combination of intention, attention, and action that you become a powerful force of transformation, and that you begin to see how your personal contributions are making an impact on the world around you. For example, if you envision a world filled with peace, you can begin by practicing inner peace in your own life. And when you see acts of injustice, you can take action in whatever way you are able to, knowing that every effort, no matter how small, is creating a ripple effect. Therefore, with these tools, you can actively participate in the co-creation of a new Earth. And now, as you master the art of individual and collective manifestation, it's essential that you also understand the power of acting collectively, understanding that the transformation of the planet isn't something that any one person can achieve alone, but a collective endeavor, a team effort, a shared vision, where each person plays a vital role and contributes to the overall outcome. When you connect with others who share your vision, who resonate with the same values, you're not just creating a community, but a powerful energetic force, a collective intention that can create transformative changes on a global scale. Think of the countless social movements throughout history that have created lasting change, and how they began with small groups of people who came together with a shared vision, and that through their combined efforts, they were able to move mountains and shift the course of history, and that this same potential exists now for you to create profound change. To manifest the reality of a world based on love, unity, and peace. The key is to connect with others, to share your vision, and to act as a unified force for positive change. And perhaps you have seen examples of a group coming together to create a shared outcome, and how those results were much greater than the sum of their parts. Therefore, that is the power of the collective, where the whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts. And as you begin to see the potential of collective action, you must also recognize that the key to a better world isn't just about intention and vision, but also about embodiment, about bringing those higher ideals into the physical realm, understanding that this simulation is a place for action, for the expression of our truest selves, and that you cannot manifest your desires from a place of simply thinking about them. You must take action and bring those desires into the world. This means embodying the qualities of love, compassion, and empathy in every aspect of your life, not just when you think you are being observed, but in every interaction, no matter how small. And that true transformation isn't just about changing our thoughts, but also about changing our actions. It's about living our values, about being a living example of the world we wish to create. Think of the way that a musician doesn't just think about music, but they practice, play, and share their gifts with the world. And it's the expression of their art that transforms the world. In the same way, your action must follow your vision, bringing it to life, one moment at a time, and that the more you act on what you know to be true, the more of an impact you will have in the world, and the more you will be inspired to do even more. Therefore, action isn't something that follows intention, it is an essential part of it that must be embraced in every aspect of your life. And so, as you begin to understand the importance of embodied action, it is crucial to realize the urgency of the current moment, that the shift in consciousness isn't some far-off future event, but something that is already happening, and that your choices, your actions, and your intentions are all contributing to this overall momentum, and that this transformation is happening now. And every choice that you make is directly impacting the overall direction of the world. The time is now to step into your power, to let go of any limiting beliefs, and to consciously choose to participate in the awakening of all humanity. Perhaps you have noticed a growing sense of urgency in the collective, as people begin to awaken and begin to recognize the need for change, and how this is happening at an ever-accelerating pace. It is in this moment of acceleration that you must choose to be an active participant, knowing that the transformation of the world lies in your hands. Therefore, this is not the time to delay or to procrastinate, but to step fully into your potential, knowing that the future is waiting to be co-created by you. Now, as you understand the urgency of this moment, you also must realize how vital it is to break free from programmed behaviors and limiting belief systems, those patterns of thinking, acting, and feeling that are holding you back from stepping into your true potential, and that these beliefs are often unconscious, deeply ingrained patterns that are often passed down through generations, that are reinforced by societal norms, and that they often cause you to act and react from a place of fear, doubt, and limitation. These beliefs are like invisible chains, restricting your freedom and preventing you from stepping into your full potential. Therefore, it is essential that you bring your awareness to these patterns, that you question the source, and that you begin to actively rewrite those limiting programs by replacing them with new empowering ones, creating a new framework of possibility. And the more you do, the more power you reclaim for yourself. Perhaps you've noticed how often you automatically respond to a situation in the same way, even though you consciously know you'd rather choose something different. These are clues that there is an unconscious pattern that is controlling your behavior, and it is time to step up and take control of them. Therefore, that is the essential next step, to let go of those limiting programs. And as you begin to challenge those limiting programs, it's important to also embrace the uncertainty that lies ahead, knowing that the path forward is not always clear, and that you will not always have all of the answers, but that you can choose to trust in your own inner guidance, allowing faith and hope to be your compass as you navigate this ever-changing landscape. Change can often be uncomfortable. It might bring fear and confusion, and it will often challenge your beliefs and ideas of how the world should be. However, it is through those challenges that you will discover your true strength, your true resilience, and your true potential. Think of a mountain climber who must navigate through all kinds of unknown terrain, from treacherous ledges to steep inclines, without knowing what lies ahead. They trust in their abilities and they take each step, even when it is uncertain, and it is through this process that they gain a sense of accomplishment. In this same way, you must be open to that uncertainty as you step into the unknown, trusting that the path will reveal itself as you go. The most crucial point here is to trust your intuition, because you are being guided always. Therefore, the journey isn't about knowing every step, but about trusting the process. Now, as you embrace uncertainty with faith, it's also time for a powerful call to action, an invitation to step fully into your role as a conscious co-creator of reality, by actively participating in the collective awakening of humanity, realizing that your actions, your choices, and your intentions have a lasting impact on the world, and that the transformation of the world lies in your hands. This means that you can no longer be a passive observer, waiting for external forces to create change. You must step forward and embody the change that you wish to see in the world, not tomorrow, not next year, but today. This is not a request, but a recognition of the power that you already possess. Perhaps you've noticed a growing sense of purpose, a deeper calling within you to contribute in a meaningful way to a higher vision, and to step into that calling now. Therefore, that is the call to action, to embrace your power, and to step boldly into the new earth. And now, as you answer that call to action, as you choose to step into your power, let's look at the specific ways you can start preparing for this shift, understanding that the most important preparation for this mass awakening event is not external, but internal, the transformation of your own consciousness, knowing that the external world will always reflect your inner state. External circumstances will change, chaos will arise, but by establishing inner peace and awareness, you have the ability to navigate any changes with grace and clarity, and by recognizing that this isn't happening to you, but through you, you will transform your approach from that of a passive observer to that of an active participant. It's like an anchor in a storm. The storm may rage, but the anchor remains firm, securing the ship. In the same way, inner alignment will keep you grounded in your truth. Perhaps you have seen this in your own life. The more peace you feel within, the more stable your external life becomes. Therefore, inner alignment is the foundation of all true preparation. Now, as you commit to this internal alignment, you can also begin to incorporate some powerful tools that will assist you in navigating the challenges of the coming shift. Tools such as meditation, which allows you to quiet the mind and to access deeper levels of awareness, and also the practice of grounding, which keeps you connected to the present moment and the Earth's energy and mindfulness, which enhances your ability to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, and that these are practical tools that you can use daily to remain centered, to maintain peace, and to operate from a place of clarity. It's not enough to simply know about these tools. You must begin to embody them in your life and make them a daily part of your routine. Perhaps you have had the experience of doing an activity where you lost track of time and became completely present in the moment. That is the same power of meditation, mindfulness, and grounding. And the more you develop those skills, the more clarity you will have, even amidst chaos. Therefore, these practical tools will become your greatest allies in the coming shift. And as you begin to understand these techniques, you must also realize the importance of embracing change, of surrendering to the flow, and releasing any fear or resistance, knowing that every transformation is a part of a greater unfolding, not as something to be feared, but something to be embraced. Change can be difficult, often challenging your perceptions of reality and uprooting your old patterns of behavior, and with that comes a sense of discomfort and uncertainty. However, it's essential to understand that it is in the unknown that your true power will be discovered. Think of the ocean and how the waves are constantly changing, always moving, never staying in one place, and it is in that continuous motion that the ocean's power lies. In the same way, the flow of life is constantly changing, and when you resist that flow, you create suffering, and when you embrace it, you unlock the potential of transformation, and it is with that that you can begin to align your own energy with the process of change. Therefore, the key is not to resist, but to embrace it. And finally, as you begin to embrace the flow of change, it is vital that you also realize that growth is not a destination, but a way of life, a continuous process of expansion, of learning, and of evolution, and that every moment presents an opportunity to deepen your awareness, to expand your consciousness, and to become a more powerful version of yourself. The journey of awakening never ends, and as you evolve, and as you integrate new perspectives, new challenges will emerge, but with each new challenge comes new levels of strength, wisdom, and understanding. Think of a spiral that continues to grow and evolve, ever expanding outwards, and that it has no end. That is how your journey should be, a continuous unfolding, as you explore the endless possibilities of consciousness. Perhaps you have noticed how every time you overcome an obstacle, it allows you to grow, and that this process is also what brings you happiness. Therefore, your journey will not end, and there is always more to discover. Now, as we prepare to move into the next section, it is vital to understand that this is not the end of your journey, but the beginning, where everything we've discussed up to this point has laid the groundwork, and that the next part will bring all of those ideas together into one unified plan of action, and we are just getting started. So, as you stand at the precipice of this profound understanding, it's crucial to recognize that the mass awakening event isn't some far-off occurrence waiting to happen, but a continuous, unfolding process that's happening within you and being mirrored in the collective consciousness, and that the shift isn't something that will happen to you, but that it's something that is happening through you. Every single day, in every single moment, in every choice that you make, and that the global events you see on the news are not isolated incidents, but rather symptoms of this collective shift, the cracks in the very fabric of the simulation as we know it, and that each one of these experiences is unfolding through the choices and actions of countless individuals just like you. And the more that you step into your power, the more you consciously participate in the unfolding of your own unique reality. You will be actively co-creating the new Earth, understanding that you are not a passive observer, but an active participant in this grand transformation. So let's stop looking outside for the answer and begin to understand that it is happening within, and then expressing outwardly. And now, as you see this transformation unfolding within you, you'll start to recognize how all of the patterns we've discussed, the cycles of awakening, the so-called glitches in the matrix, and the influence of your belief systems are not separate anomalies, but interconnected pieces of a larger puzzle that reveal the underlying structure of reality. And that those synchronicities that you may have experienced are not random coincidences, but rather signs that you are moving in alignment with your higher purpose, that the simulation itself is responding to your internal shifts, and the more you embrace this understanding, the more these experiences will begin to amplify, guiding you even further along this path. And that those limiting beliefs that you may have held on to are not fixed constraints, but rather programs that can be rewritten, that these are not chains, but simply codes that can be altered, and that the more you understand the structure of this system, the more freedom you have within it. Therefore, see these patterns not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth and transformation, guiding you along the way. As you start to piece all of this together, you'll begin to see how your personal frequency, your ability to embrace your shadow, the alignment of your heart and mind, and the way you embody manifestation are all interconnected elements of a single, cohesive system, none of which can operate effectively without the other, and that when your frequency is elevated, your shadow is integrated. And your heart and mind are in alignment, your manifestation power becomes exponentially more effective, and that every single one of these pieces is vital for a harmonious expression of your potential, creating a symphony of energy, and that these are not isolated aspects of your experience, but gears of a greater mechanism, each needing to be perfectly aligned in order to create a balanced and powerful life. Therefore, this is not a pick and choose approach. It's about the holistic integration of all of these aspects. And now, as you integrate these concepts, you'll also begin to experience a profound perspective shift from that of a passive victim to an active co-creator, understanding that you are not at the mercy of circumstances, but that you are the very force that shapes those circumstances, understanding that you're no longer trapped by the simulation, but that you are the one who holds the power to transform it. And it's in this very shift of perception that you unlock the true potential of your freedom and empowerment, moving from being someone that the world is happening to, into the being through which the world is happening through, understanding that you have the ability to rewrite the script of your own experience, choosing to focus on love, abundance, joy, and all of the possibilities that are open to you. Therefore, this is the ultimate transformation, to step into your own personal power and agency. Now, let's take a step back to see that your individual awakening is not just for you alone, but is a vital part of the overall evolution of human consciousness, that your transformation is contributing to the transformation of all, that you are not a single drop in the ocean, but the ocean in a single drop, and that this awakening that you are experiencing is also occurring in countless others around the world, all weaving together in an interconnected tapestry of transformation, and that each step that you take on your personal journey helps to catalyze the next stage of this collective evolution, bringing all of humanity to new heights of understanding and awareness, and that this is not an isolated event, but part of an ongoing process. Therefore, your individual journey is a part of something much larger. As you understand your role in this larger process, you'll begin to recognize how the recurring patterns we've discussed have been a constant throughout human history, in the rise and fall of civilizations, the cycles of enlightenment, and even in the very prophecies of ancient cultures, such as the Mayan calendar and the Hopi prophecies, and that they are all pointing towards the same underlying truth. That transformation is a natural, inevitable part of the ongoing evolutionary process, and that these events are not isolated, but are patterns within a larger structure, guiding us as we move through time, and that this understanding gives deeper meaning to the moment we are in, and a clear context for what is to come. Therefore, these patterns are not random occurrences, but the signs of an underlying order. And with this understanding comes the realization of the profound implications of this mass awakening event on our societies, our relationships, and the very future of our species, that we are being given a unique opportunity to create a new world based on cooperation, compassion, and shared vision, and that this is both a challenge and an opportunity, as it is not a predetermined future, but something that you are empowered to shape, and that your choices now, and in the moments to come, will determine the very direction that we will take as a species, and that you have a very important role to play and the power to make a real impact. Therefore, the responsibility and the power now lies in your hands. And finally, understanding all of this empowers you to transform not only your own life, but to contribute to the creation of a more conscious and harmonious world for all, and that your personal growth is not isolated to you, but it has a ripple effect that touches everyone around you, and that your very presence has the ability to influence the collective, and that this is a shared journey, where your personal growth contributes to the overall success of our planet, allowing us to collectively raise our vibration to move towards love, peace, unity, and abundance, and that this is both a personal and collective undertaking that requires each one of us to take an active role. Therefore, your personal transformation has the power to transform the world. And so, as we come together, all of the different threads of knowledge we have explored now weave together to form a unified understanding, creating a clear picture, and that these are not separate ideas, but parts of the same cohesive whole, and that they build upon each other, each piece becoming an important aspect of the puzzle, and by understanding each piece, we come to understand the whole, creating a higher level of clarity, and that this new clarity empowers you to step into your role as a conscious co-creator of reality, no longer held back by limiting beliefs or patterns of the past, but empowered by the knowledge of who you are and what you can do. Therefore, this knowledge is your key to freedom. With that key, you now have the tools to recognize those recurring patterns, the cycles, the glitches, and the belief systems, and you also have the power to not be trapped by them, but to transform them and to create new patterns aligned with your intentions and your highest potential. And that with this understanding, you are now able to move beyond the role of being a passive observer of your reality, to becoming the conscious participant in its unfolding, choosing to create positive change, and to not be constrained by the patterns of the past, but instead to be the one who shapes the patterns of the future. Therefore, you now hold the power to consciously shape your own experience. And as we approach the end of our exploration, let's revisit those initial questions that we asked at the beginning of this journey, providing clarity and resolution, but also inspiring deeper questions and a desire to continue to explore and to grow even further. And that with each answer, we discover more possibilities, and with each new possibility, a new level of curiosity arises, creating a continuous cycle of exploration, and that these new questions are an invitation to join this channel and to continue this exploration together. Therefore, this is not the end, but the beginning of a new journey. And finally, let's release any remaining tension by reinforcing that you now possess the power and the tools to not only navigate the coming shifts, but to thrive in the new reality, that this is not something to fear, but to embrace, and that you have everything you need to navigate the challenges that lie ahead with strength, grace, and resilience, and that you are not alone in this, and that there are countless others who are walking this same path, who are here to support you, and who are here to connect with you. Therefore, you are powerful, you are capable, and you are ready. And now, as you move forward, what new questions and possibilities are calling to you? What new levels of understanding are waiting to be explored? And what does this knowledge mean for your personal growth, for your relationships, and for the larger collective action of the world? And that these are all questions that we will begin to explore in future videos, as we continue to dive into the endless depths of consciousness and awareness, and the possibilities that they present for us all. And we will continue to explore how we can bring this to practical application in our lives, and how we can create a better world for everyone. Therefore, the journey has no end, and there is always more to discover. As you begin to see the vast implications of this knowledge, you can see the possibilities for how it will transform every aspect of your life, how it will enhance your personal growth, create more authentic connections in your relationships, and give you the ability to contribute to a better world. And that as we continue our journey together, we will explore how to apply these ideas to practical situations, allowing you to create a more fulfilling and meaningful life for yourself and others. And that it is in these new explorations that we will build a strong and unified community. Therefore, the real journey is just beginning. And finally, as you start to embody this new understanding, I would like to invite you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below, to connect with others who resonate with these ideas, and to become a part of this growing movement that is shifting the consciousness of our planet, and that in this community we can inspire, encourage, and support each other in a collective wave of transformation, and to share this video with others who may be ready to awaken to their full potential, because by sharing this knowledge, you help others to begin this journey as well. Therefore, your participation helps us all. And with that invitation, I would like to thank you for joining me on this journey, and I also want to let you know that the next video, we're going to dive even deeper into manifestation techniques, as well as explore the structure of the simulation and how we can hack it to create a better world for all of humanity, and that the journey has no end. And that we will continue to explore the endless possibilities together, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.